From Stony Brook Field in Brewster, Massachusetts, it is Game 13 of this Cape Cod Baseball League season. Today's matchup between the visiting Cotuit Kettleers taking on the Brewster Whitecaps in an Eastern-Western Division matchup. Welcome to the Cotuit Kettleers pregame show on Cape League TV. Here on the Ketts Digital Network, I'm Chris Albright, joined alongside Connor Shue. Brooke Kilgore is the third member of our team. We'll hear from her throughout this game. And joined by our producer and director, Sorka Lewis and Riley Lewis. Connor, Cotuit, 3-8-1 on the season. Just wrapped up a win yesterday over the Bourne Braves. That was at Lowell Park. How do you carry that winning streak in here today?
I think you got to extend the hitting that we saw in the first couple of innings and extrapolate that over the rest of the game. We saw them get 7 base hits in the first 2, score all 6 of their runs then. But now it's all about putting that together along a full 9 innings, given that we do play that no lights here at Brewster just like back home in Cotuit. So just keeping the hitting going and staying consistent in the box, I think, is the key storyline number 1 for the Kettleers team today.
I think looking back at what happened yesterday, plenty of good to take away. Kettleers scored 6 runs in the first 2 innings. It was 4 in the first, 2 in the second. Can you break down what was working well in those first and second innings yesterday?
Well, they just did a good job of laying off pitches. The first 6 batters up reached in the game. 3 of those batters were walked. 3 of them hit singles, and that was just good approach by the Kettleers. Good job, especially Jaron Vinkula, who led it off. He pushed one out to left field. Just a lazy fly out there for a base hit, not trying to do too much, and that was kind of contagious for the rest of the lineup. They all found their way on, doing their own thing. Jack Natilli ripping a single right up the middle. Dean West shooting one through the gap as well, but Farber, Wiggins, and Johnson all working long counts and forcing the starter, Folger Boas, to really scuffle in that first inning. And you know you succeeded whenever you run the starter out of the game before they record a single out, and that's exactly what the Kettleers did.
And not a happy stat line for Folger Boas in his first appearance out on Cape, but that was in large credit just to the aggressiveness that the Kettleers showed right off the bat. I mean, it ended up working in the Ketts' favor, a 6-4 win. Like we mentioned, the only real runs surrendered, the real threats from Bourne came later in the game. So the bullpen certainly, I wouldn't say we're questioning it at all because this bullpen's been lights out all season, but that was, when the bullpen's the only blemish and the bullpen's already really good for Cotuit, that's a good sign of this team finding their form.
And it really is. We saw them buckle down, especially an apt name. Ryan Buckler, he did a great job in 2 2/3 innings, didn't allow an earned run. And he hasn't allowed an earned run all season, 5 2/3 scoreless in his department, and he's been really good. Gave the ball to Tyler Albanese, who pitched 2 fine innings, closed it down with a strikeout, just like he did here in Brewster last week. So hoping for some similar action out of the pen.
Well, speaking of that game against Brewster last week, we'll transition now into that. This is the second time the Kettleers have taken a trek out east to Brewster, heading down Cape. It was June 24th, so 5 days ago, if my math is correct. I know I was struggling with math yesterday, but 5 days ago, the Ketts beat Brewster 6-2. That was the Kettleers' second win of the season, and it was a really well-rounded win, you could say.
It was. We saw James Hayes come out here and just shove 4 2/3, really solid innings, 7 strikeouts, only a couple earned runs allowed, and then what a surprise, the bullpen did work again. Cole Carlone, 2 1/3 scoreless. Tyler Albanese, he went 6 up, 6 down through the final 2 frames to shut down those Brewster bats. Everyone looked good. The hitting was solid in all facets. Cotuit spread the runs evenly across the game, getting 2 more in the top of the 9th to really hammer it home. That's exactly what you want to see on a game-to-game basis. They were solid on the base paths as well. There wasn't really anything you were probably mad at if your head coach Lauren Hibbs only left 5 on base, which has been a problem throughout the season for the Kettleers. So job well done on that front that day.
And since that win over the Whitecaps, Cotuit has gone on a little bit of a streak, you could say. Over the past 4 games, the Ketts are 2-1-1. That works itself out to 5 points. Those are ever crucial in the Cape League standings. And Cotuit is hot on Bourne's tail to finally get out of that 5th spot in the Western Division.
They are, and Bourne 4-7-1, Cotuit 3-8-1. You said it they're right behind him, and Bourne has been struggling lately. Cotuit has continued to play better baseball as the season has gone on, and they had Brewster's number in the first game, but they're going to see a new arm in Tegan Coons, so we'll see how they do against the Tennessee right-handed pitcher. He's going to bring a different look than Tyler Schmidt. Seems like he's a little bit more of a strikeout guy. Schmidt, more of a ground ball type pitcher coming out of Illinois, and he got hit around early on in that game, so we'll see how they do against the righty.
We'll go ahead and talk about the pitching matchup today here between Brewster and Cotuit. On the mound for the Kettleers, it's Ian May, a new face to this Kettleers roster. This will be his first appearance on Cape. And for Brewster, Tegan Coons making his second appearance of the season. Connor, can you tell us a little bit about each of those two arms?
Well, we'll start with Coons, and I just told you a little bit about him and his strikeout stuff. 40 punch-outs in 36 2/3 innings in his freshman season at Tennessee. He was a solid midweek, late weekend type of guy for them and was just solid the whole way through. ERA under 5.5, which is a solid mark in college. Of course, you have to adjust with those aluminum bats, but he was really good in his lone outing so far on Cape this summer. He pitched back on the 21st against YD. 4 innings pitched, no runs, no walks, only allowed 3 hits and struck out 6. He looked really good, so he's going to try to continue that, facing off against Ian May in his first appearance this summer. Appeared twice last summer for Cotuit, 1.59 ERA and 5 2/3 innings, 4 strikeouts for him, and he pitched a lot this spring for UCLA. An interesting role for him. He was a bit of a swingman, 27 appearances, 12 starts, and again, 70 2/3 innings, only 47 strikeouts, but he got the job done with a heavy amount of ground balls, only allowed 64 hits scattered across those innings. So May's going to look to continue that and pitch kind of how he did last summer. Real limited time, but really solid with Cotuit.
That is your pitching matchup here today. And since Cotuit is coming up to bat first, being the visiting team, Connor, can you go ahead and run through the Kettleers lineup today?
As usual, Jaron Advincula is leading off. He's had a leadoff base hit in the past 3 games. Then it's Dean West in his second straight game in the 2-hole. Ryan Farber hitting third as usual. Jack Natilli batting cleanup. Andrew Wiggins batting 5th. Then it's Camden Johnson, Nolan Stevens, Rintaro Sasaki, and Case Sanderson to round out the lineup card for the Kets.
We're just looking at those names, a lot of familiar faces, a lot of guys that have been here since game 1 for Cotuit. But one of the newcomers, Dean West, hitting from the 2 spot today, played in his first game for Cotuit yesterday. After getting off the plane, we found out at 1 a.m. the day before, and then putting on a Kets uniform, coming out, his first plate appearance was a hit. Just talk about that spark that West has brought.
And he was part of that first inning ambush, like you said, his first plate appearance, a base knock. He was one of those 6 base runners that reached to start the game for Cotuit, and he went 1 for 4. I think his real impact came in the field, made a couple of nice running over-the-shoulder catches out in his position in left field. Made it look pretty easy. It was something he did all season at UCLA. Heck, he was their leadoff man in the regionals, hit .320 at an on-base percentage near .500. He was really good, and I think he's going to slot into this 2-hole for the Kets really nicely for the majority of the season, and I think, heck, we could probably see him in center field too. He's got the range for it.
The outfield has just been phenomenal so far for Cotuit this season. I know we were trying to make the nickname restricted airspace. I was trying to make the nickname restricted airspace happen for the outfield, but it's an apt nickname. The amount of ground that Wiggins, that West, that Sanderson, Stevens, Winfield can all cover is very impressive. I mean, they rob base hits. Dean West robbed 2 extra base hits yesterday on balls that were sailing towards the fence, and I mean, he was backtracking, catching it behind, over his shoulder, while almost crashing into the fence. So the Cotuit outfield, certainly pitcher's best friends, you could say.
I'd say so, and you took the words right out of my mouth. All those guys have great range in the field, and all of them have great arms. We saw that a couple of games ago in the tie game that we saw. That just sounds so weird to say, against Chatham a few days ago. Back home at Lowell Park, Nolan Stevens and Easton Winfield with some beautiful throws from the outfield, and Andrew Wiggins did his thing out in left, and now he's back in center, which I really like. I feel like he has the most range out of anybody in that outfield. All these guys do, but he's 6'4", long legs, and he can just get from point A to point B so quickly and seems to track down every ball.
So we'll quickly look at how Brewster lines up defensively since they're coming up to bat. Since they're coming up to bat second, we'll go ahead and talk about that Brewster defense. How do they take the field today, Connor?
Out in left field, it's Blake Sear from Florida. In center, Josiah Ragsdale, the freshman sensation from Boston College. Adam Magpok in right field. Cal Fisher at third. Curse at short. Dalton Wentz at second base. Michael Anderson at first. And Carson Tinney doing the catching for Tegan Coons.
Couple of those names we're familiar with, seeing them just less than a week ago. One of those that stands out, I mean, for good reason. He's at the top of nearly every offensive statistic in the Cape. Josiah Ragsdale, who's playing center field. When the Whitecaps come up to bat, he'll be leading things off, but he has just been on a tear to start his summer. First week of the season, the weekly award, the Franklin CCBL Player of the Week. There's two awards given out. One of them went to Ragsdale. He led the league at the time in average hits, RBIs, and stolen bases, and he has not let his foot off the gas, Connor.
Still leads the league in average and stolen bases. He's hitting .375 still with 11 stolen bags. He's only been caught twice. He walks just as much as he strikes out, and he's not a guy who's going to hit for a lot of power, but you don't really need him to. He has a great eye at the plate, and he's kind of a similar makeup to Jaron Advincula in the leadoff spot for the Kettleers. Both a very similar archetype of player, just at different positions. But offensively, they have the same exact tools. Again, that bat-to-ball ability, the ability to just take close pitches, work long at-bats, and walk whenever they need to.
Yeah, two giants, you could say, on the team. Like, it's easy to tell that Advincula and Ragsdale are the leaders, and it's fitting to have them both be leading off. For both of these squads today, they will be looking to the leadoff man to get something going. Advincula got things going yesterday with that single opposite field. That's what really started the momentum for Cotuit. And Ragsdale, if he could get on base just like Advincula did, that's a good spur and a good start for Brewster. So those leadoff guys, truly the biggest names on the teams right now, they have so much importance in this one.
I'd say so. Those are the tone setters. Those are the table setters. And Cotuit, I think part of the reason they got that victory the first time against Brewster, Ragsdale led off that game, and I don't think he reached base once, so they did a great job of minimizing his impact on the game, and it seems like the team kind of goes as he goes, and with them stopping him at the plate and on the bases, he didn't really have a chance to affect the game, and everything kind of slowed down for them, and Cotuit was able to control that game without his impact for Brewster.
I'll tell you how much Cotuit controlled the game against Brewster the first time. Out of the Whitecaps' first four hitters, 1, 2, 3, and 4, combined, there was only one at-bat where a player reached base, and that was a hit-by-pitch on Daniel Cuvée, who was hitting third. Outside of that, those four guys went 0 for 15 against Cotuit. I mean, that's just dominance at the start of the lineup against the top of the lineup card for Cotuit.
That's a winning formula right there. If you stop the top of the order for a team, usually good things are going to happen. Sometimes the back end of your lineup is going to come through and save things for you, and that's kind of what Cotuit did. The back end of that batting order really did work. P.J. Moutsouridis and Anderson French each with 2 hits that game, so kind of worked in the opposite way for the Kets that day.
So again, Cotuit coming into this game sitting at 3-8-1. That's 5th in the West, only 2 points behind Bourne. So we'll be keeping a close eye on Bourne's matchup today. That game is against Harwich, so we'll keep an eye on that score. Brewster sitting at 7-5. They've dropped 2 straight games, so looking to avoid that 3-game skid. Again, we're live here at Stony Brook Field for the Kettleers pregame show. The Whitecaps have taken the field, so they're all lined up, getting ready to do the anthem and starting lineups here. Connor, any final thoughts for this Cotuit Kettleers pregame show?
Excited to see what Ian May can do on the bump for the Kettleers. Excited to see if the lineup can continue as they have in the past week.
Again, it's Ian May doing the starting pitching for Cotuit. Tegan Coons doing the starting pitching for Brewster. We'll do lineups again. We're coming up on first pitch here at Stony Brook Field. This has been the Cotuit Kettleers pregame show. First pitch coming at you after this break.
The Kettleers 50-50 raffle is brought to you by 4 C's Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 C's Ice Cream and taste the difference. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets now.
From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot at Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
The Kettleers are sponsored by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers Top of the Order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Back here, Stony Brook Field, the Whitecaps have taken the field. We're moments away from first pitch in this matchup between the Kettleers and the Whitecaps. Chris Albright joined alongside Connor Shue with Brooke Kilgore. Connor, one last time, can we run through how the Kettleers will step up to the plate and how Brewster takes the field?
The lefty, Jaron Advincula, will lead things off. Then he'll give way to Dean West and Ryan Farber batting second and third. Then it's Jack Natilli in the cleanup spot. Andrew Wiggins batting fifth. Camden Johnson hitting sixth, then Nolan Stevens, Rintaro Sasaki, and Case Sanderson to round out the order. Blake Sear in left field for the Brewster Whitecaps, Josiah Ragsdale in center, Adam Magpok in right. Then at third base, it's Cal Fisher at short, Carson Curse, Dalton Wentz at second base, Michael Anderson at first, and Carson Tinney, the recent transfer to Texas, doing the catching for Tegan Coons today.
Coons up on the mound, wrapping up his warm-up pitches. Just wrapped up his freshman year at Tennessee, where he was able to put up some solid numbers for a freshman doing work in the SEC. Brewster in their home whites, white jerseys, white pants with thin teal pinstripes up and down both. Teal lettering across the chest and teal numerals on the back. Tricolor caps, white front panel, teal brim and black all around. Cotuit and the Road Maroons wearing jerseys this time, no practice shirts, with white pants, maroon pinstripes, and maroon socks. Advincula ready to walk up to the plate for his first plate appearance. Umpires today. Calling the balls and strikes, Rick Antonio. At first base, George Stransky. And at third, Pablo Bustamante. The catcher, Carson Tinney, walks out to the mound with 20 seconds on the pitch clock. Ready for Jaron Advincula. He's talking things over one last time with Tegan Coons. Coons with the teal 48 on his back, standing at 6'3", 189. The right-handed hurler out of Hagerstown, Maryland. The first batter he'll be facing, Jaron Advincula, takes a deep breath, steps into the left-handed batter's box, shares some pleasantries with the catcher, Carson Tinney, and he'll dig in. Coons, tan glove at his belt. He takes a deep breath. First pitch. Swung on and fouled to the back screen. First pitch today, 5:06. Just a couple minutes behind the scheduled 5 o'clock first start. It is a beautiful 72 degrees here in Brewster. Couple high clouds in the sky, sun setting. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs at the Cotuit lettering on Jaron Advincula's chest. Advincula in the first game against Brewster went 2 for 5, scored a pair of runs as well. The 1-1. Check swing. He didn't go around. The ball was high, 95-mile-per-hour fastball from Tegan Coons. That makes the count 2-1 here with no outs. Top of the first. Advincula with a deep crouch. All wooden bat on his back shoulder. The pitch is socked in the air towards left field. Measuring as Blake Sear, he'll come in a step and make the catch at his shoulder. 1 up, 1 down for Tegan Coons. And up will step Dean West in his second appearance for the Kettleers this season.
Excited to see if he's as aggressive as he was in the first game. Attacked one of the first pitches he saw in that at-bat to continue after Advincula. Maybe a little more of a measured approach since Coons retired Advincula quickly.
1 away, no one on base. The first pitch to West. At the knees, called a strike, 94 miles per hour. West from West Hills, California, plays his college ball at UCLA. 5'10", 180. The lefty waits. Here's the pitch. Swung on and fouled to the back screen. Count is quickly 0-2 on West. West in his first game went 1 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts. Some hustle from the ball kids. We've seen that a lot from the Cotuit ball kids this season. They do a mighty fine job. 0-2, here's the pitch. Fastball sails high. Coons will favor that fastball. Throws it just around 50% of the time. In an interview yesterday, West said he hopes to utilize some of his favorite parts of his game, bunting and stealing bases. Here's the 1-2 pitch. An excuse me swing pops it foul over the press box. Count will stay at 1-2. 385 to dead center here at Stony Brook Field. 315 down the lines. The new Brewster mascot, Cappy, is out in some grandstands in left center field. Giant baseball head, kind of like Mr. Met. Coons shakes a sign. Now he's ready. The stretch and the pitch. West takes upstairs, 96 miles per hour. 2-2 is the count here with 1 out. West will step out of the left-handed batter's box, take a stretch. White batting gloves gripping the black bat. He awaits the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Another fastball, this one center cut. 2 straight retired from Tegan Coons.
Seems like that's the main out pitch for Coons. It's been working for him so far. The fastball touches 95, 96 on the radar gun. Has a little bit of movement.
Up will step the switch hitter, Ryan Farber. He'll take a deep breath. He's batting from the left-handed side of the plate. Stares at the orange barrel of his bat and will dig in. 2 away here. Third baseman, Cal Fisher, playing in a step near the infield grass. The first pitch to Farber. Cracked on the ground, right side, and it's past the second baseman, Winston, into right field. First hit of the day comes off the bat of Ryan Farber. Kets have 1 aboard with 2 out.
And he went cold for a couple of games, but yesterday came alive again. Had a walk and a hit, 2 hits the game before that. So Farber is getting back to that early season form. He was over a 300 batting average for a bit. Now he just keeps creeping right back up to it.
Up will step the backstop, Jack Natilli for Cotuit, the catcher hitting from the 4-hole today. Tall stance in the right-handed hitter's box. Runner goes. First pitch is swung on and belted towards left center field. Sinking fast, and it's down. It will 2-hop the wall. Farber got a great jump. He rounds third. The throw will go to short. Farber scores, and Natilli's in there with a stand-up double. Cotuit up 1-0 here in the top of the first.
And that's what you want to see out of Jack Natilli. It's what he did so much in the Big 12 at Cincinnati. Split the gaps with a strong swing through the middle of the plate. And that time he served that pitch all the way into the left center field gap. More than enough time to get Farber home.
Natilli passes off his armor to the first base coach for Cotuit, Tim O'Connor. Ketts now with 1 run in the top of the first. These first inning runs have been very helpful for Cotuit throughout the season. Getting ahead early has been the key so far. Runner on second, Wiggins up to bat. The pitch. Fastball misses a bit high and inside. 1 ball and no strikes here with 2 away. Wiggins yesterday went 0 for 0, but had 4 plate appearances. He had 4 walks to his name. Gets on base via the base on balls. He takes the 0-1 in there for a strike, another fastball. Outfield straight away. Infield playing back in normal depth. Keir shaded towards second. He's watching Natilli, who's got a large lead. The 1-1. Wiggins' offer didn't go around. Either way, it's a strike. That one looked to be the sinker, just a couple miles per hour slower than the fastball from Coons. 1-2 is the count here with 2 outs. Wiggins, the tall left-handed hitter, awaits the pitch. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Coons is able to strike out 2 Kettleers, but the Ketts played a run. Jack Natilli with an RBI double. They'll take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first. Brewster due up for the first time today.
The Kettleers interns in the very popular t-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts, proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental implant center of South Yarmouth. Doctors Thea Herodis, Meyer, and Sarapak are the Cape's leading experts in oral biopsies, wisdom teeth extractions, and dental implant reconstructive surgery.
Bottom of the first here at Stony Brook Field. The Cotuit Kettleers leading the Whitecaps 1-0 on the mound today for Cotuit. Ian May, this is his first appearance of the season, Connor.
It is. Saw some time last season as a reliever in 2 appearances with the Kettleers, but he came into UCLA out of Cal this past season and was really, really solid with the Bruins, pitching in over 70 innings with a really solid team that made the Super Regional, of course, and he's going to come in and try to continue that magic into the Kettleers season.
May on the mound. A tall left-hander. He's staring down Josiah Ragsdale. The first pitch from him, knee-high pitch called for strike 1. May, 6'2", 180, very similar delivery to Kenton Deverman. More so an unorthodox arm slot, about 3/4 you could call it, peering over his glove. Here's the pitch. Just a bit inside. Count will even at 1-1. It'll be Ragsdale, Fisher, and Wentz due up for the Whitecaps this inning. They're followed up by Sosa, Sear, and Tinney. Bottom third, Curse, Anderson, and Magpock. The 1-1, cracked and sliced foul over the third base dugout of the Brewster Whitecaps. Count will go to 1-2 here with no outs. Bottom of the first. Ian May takes a deep breath. He'll retake his spot on the rubber, working from the third base side of the slab. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is hit softly in the air toward shallow left field. Coming in is West. He won't get there. He'll play it on a hop and chuck it into Advincula. Ragsdale will stay put at first base, but Connor, we talked about these leadoff men for both squads and how important they are.
Indeed we did. Advincula and Ragsdale are really the igniters for each of their teams, and when Ragsdale plays well, it seems like Brewster plays well, so it's a good omen for him to get on first.
The infield for Cotuit today, Sanderson at first, Advincula at second, Farber at short, and Camden Johnson at the hot corner. Outfield from left to right, West, Wiggins, and Stevens. Natilli is doing the catching. First pitch to Cal Fisher. He takes outside bottom corner of the strike zone, 86 miles per hour from May. Count is no balls and one strike with no outs. Ragsdale's on first. Fisher, a right-handed hitter. Lefty-righty matchup, and a pickoff throw over to first. Not a whole lot of pep on it. Ragsdale got back standing.
And you have to watch out for Ragsdale. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame, but he leads the whole league in stolen bases with 11, only been caught twice.
The 0-1, swung on and popped up foul over our heads. We're on the first base side of, you could call it home plate. Very good view down the left field line from our vantage point. Count is 0-2 on Cal Fisher. May trying to record his first out of this summer for Cotuit. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball is cracked in the air, up the middle and into center field. Ragsdale will go from first to third, and with a big turnaround first, Fisher will scamper back. A good piece of two-strike hitting from Fisher.
Fisher really had to lower the barrel on that swing to almost gulf out the low pitch from May, and he did a good job to put good contact on it and serve it into center field. So, unfortunately, a little bit of trouble for Ian May entering his first inning.
Up will step Dalton Wentz. Wentz 6'2", 210, plays his college ball at Wake Forest, where he just wrapped up his year. Calls Lynchburg, Virginia, his home. The righty ready, first pitch from May. Swung on and hit high in the air, tailing foul and out of play. Ragsdale on third, Fisher on first after back-to-back base hits. Infield for Cotuit, playing at double play depth. Johnson, the third baseman, playing even with the bag, about 6 or so steps from it. May, the lefty, has his sign. Glove set at the belt. The kick and the pitch. Inside, ball one. Count even at 1 now. No wind here in Brewster. There's a giant American flag near center field, just hanging down from its white pole. May shakes off a sign. Left hand hanging freely by his belt. Now he has one. Again set at the belt. The pitch. Ripped foul on the ground past the third base line. Count will go to 1-2. Wentz on the season, he's hitting .257. Has 3 doubles. That's tied for the team lead for Brewster. Does lead the team in strikeouts. He has 11 to only 4 walks. He's down in this count 1-2. May ready, runners on first and third. The pitch. Ripped in the air up the middle again. That's a base hit to center field, and it will score Ragsdale. Holding at second is Fisher. Make it 3 straight singles to start the game for the Whitecaps.
Not to mention all of them with 2 strikes in the count. So this Brewster team has gone down to May every single time up, but they've done a good job to protect and just shoot everything back up the middle except for Ragsdale's hit.
All swings have really been well timed. You'll see that when the ball goes right up the middle. That means they're meeting the ball right where they should. Alex Sosa, the designated hitter for Brewster, will walk up to the plate, gives a pat on the back to home plate umpire Rick Antonio and Jack Natili, the catcher. The lefty ready. His bat has a similar Brewster blue up at the top, an all wooden handle. Black batting gloves gripping the bat. The first pitch to him, 87 miles per hour low in the zone, ball one. 1-1 the score in this ball game. Just the bottom of the first. Shaping up to be a high hitting affair. May set at the belt, deep breath, the pitch. And there's strike one. Sosa was taking all the way. In the first matchup between these two teams, Alex Sosa went 0 for 4. Had a strikeout in there. Brief pause in play. The home plate umpire, Rick Antonio, told the man on deck, Blake Sear, to step further back. Sear was creeping towards home plate, trying to get a better look at how the pitches are coming in. He scooches a couple steps back. Now he steps forward. The pitch, cracked on the ground over the head of May to second. Farber steps on the bag for one and fires in time to first to complete the double play. 6-3 on the double play. Farber showing off his glove. Fisher advances to third. And up will step Blake Sear. Sear went 1 for 4 against Cotuit. Scored a run, also struck out. Brewster unable to really get hitting going against Cotuit the first game. Only got 4 knocks. They've already had 3 hits here in just the first inning. Here's the pitch from May. Didn't offer at that fastball, strike one. On the outside part of the strike zone. At third base is Fisher. Other base is free. The 0-1. Breaking ball. Barely caught a piece of it, did Sear. Fouled it near the on-deck circle for the Whitecaps. Count is now 0-2. May has seen a couple of these counts today. Unfortunately, has given up some singles with an 0-2 count as well. Looking to avoid that fate here with 2 outs, bottom of the first. Long pause from May up on the mound. Brings his glove up to his chin, now delivers. Breaking ball is golfed high in the air. This won't leave the infield. Advincula calling for it and will make the catch halfway between first and second base. Brewster strands a runner at third. They do play to run. The score is tied 1-1. We'll head to the top of the second here at Stony Brook Field on Cape League TV.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings. They're ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 315 towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of win.
Due up for the Kettleers here in the top of the second. It will be Camden Johnson, Nolan Stevens, and Rentaro Sasaki. In that 6, 7, and 8. And the lineup card, Cotuit able to score a first inning run. Ryan Farber reached via a single, and Natili brought him home on a double to left center field. Again, just a beautiful day here on the campus of Stony Brook Elementary School. The baseball field tucked back behind the school. enclave of trees surrounding the stadium. Tall, leafy green trees everywhere you look. Very picturesque. Backstop here. The lefty Camden Johnson takes a deep breath. Now he'll step into the left-handed batter's box. Staring down Tegan Coons for his second inning of work. Coons with a deep breath and will deliver the pitch in and at the shins of Johnson. Johnson against Brewster. Game 1 of this series between the two teams. Went 0 for 4, had an RBI, also had a walk and a strikeout. The 1-0. Cracked in the air, left center field again. That's sinking fast and will split the gap. Rounding first is Johnson. He'll head to second where the throw is not in time. In fact, it's cut off by Kearse. Johnson reaches with a double. The second of the day for the Kettleers. The extra base hits are starting to flow for the Kets.
I was going to say, last game is the only one of the last 4 where we've seen the Kets go without one, and they get right back to it with a pair of doubles in the first 2 innings, and Johnson continues to lead the team. I think that's his 4th already this year.
His 4th of the season. He stands comfortably at the #1 ranking for doubles on the Kettleers. Nolan Stevens, another left-handed hitter, will dig in. Johnson on second. He's got about a 4-pace lead. The pitch misses outside, ball 1. Stevens on the season hitting .179, has 7 hits in 39 at-bats. No extra base hits for him yet. The way the baseball is flying today, he has a good chance to get his first. The 1-0 called strike 1. Stevens, 6'3", 210, out of Elk Grove, California. Wrapped up playing baseball at Mississippi State this past season. The lefty holding his bat straight up before he gets set. He'll rest it square on his back shoulder. The 1-1, swing and a miss. A bit behind that 94-mile-per-hour fastball from Tegan Coons.
Seems like that's been the one the Kettleers have had trouble with in these first couple innings. He's blown a few fastballs past these batters.
Coons, a Tennessee Volunteer, a true freshman. His season high this past collegiate year for strikeouts was 6 against Auburn. The 1-2, caught a piece of it and fouled it back over the screen. Those 6 strikeouts against Auburn came also in his longest outing of the season. 4 2/3 innings pitched. That was all in relief. His first start on Cape, he notched 4 complete innings and 6 strikeouts. So very similar numbers translating here to the Cape League for the pitcher Tegan Coons. He has his sign, glove set at the belt, rocking on his back foot. Checks the runner, now will kick and deal. 1-2 breaking ball in there, called strike 3. The 3rd strikeout of the day for Tegan Coons, the first one looking. And up will step Rentaro Sasaki with 1 out. Here in the top of the 2nd, Kettleers and Whitecaps knotted up at 1 apiece. Each squad with 3 hits to their name as well. Plenty of hitting being shared throughout the lineup card. Sasaki has 2 hits on the season for Cotuit. Both of those extra base hits. He has a double and a home run. That home run, the only one of the season for the Kettleers so far. First pitch to him. Breaking ball in and at the knees, just missed the zone. 1-0 is the count. Wind beginning to whip around here at Stony Brook Field. It's blowing in from straightaway center. We'll knock down those high fly balls. The 1-0 pitch, runner goes. Sasaki takes. Throw down to third is on the money, but Johnson just got a great jump. A successful stolen base for number 12.
He's been one of the better base runners all summer for Cotuit. 5 stolen bags for him, 2nd on the squad. Really knows how to get a good jump.
Cotuit came into this ball game 18 stolen bases as a squad. That was tied for 8th in the Cape League. They're getting back to normal. Infield is pinched in for Sasaki. The 1-1 swung at some high heat. That ball was in and at the letters of his maroon jersey. Count is now 1-2 with 1 out. Sasaki can put power on the ball. Have not seen him bunt much yet. The infield is playing in like he will be here with 2 strikes, or just ready for a sharp grounder. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss from Sasaki. 94-mile-per-hour fastball from Coons. You said it was his put-away pitch, Connor, and it sure looks like it.
Just blazes through the zone, and with Sasaki, he's had some strikeout problems early on Cape, and he's been chasing that high fastball the whole time, so I think he got the scout on him.
Case Sanderson, the 9-hole hitter for Cotuit, up now with 2 outs. A runner on third. Score is tied at 1-1. The first pitch to Sanderson. The lefty takes at the shins, a breaking ball. A ball and no strikes, the count to him. Sanderson on the season hitting a .148, 4 hits and 27 at-bats. Shares the team lead in RBIs, though. He has 4 of them so far. The pitch, he takes again. This one's a strike, same breaking ball, just a bit higher in the zone.
Is one of his first RBIs, that walk-off single against Wareham in the second game of the season.
Sanderson leads the team in sacrifice flies. He has 2 of them. That's not in play here with 2 outs. 1-1 pitch. Ripped in the air, down the right field line, and it tails foul up near the Cotuit bullpen, which is perched in the right field corner.
It's a really good swing by Sanderson. Just got out in front a little bit, but it's one of the best cuts we've seen him take all summer. See if Coons gets a little more careful after that.
Sanderson, another Kettleer, searching for his first extra base hit. Waves his bat over his bat shoulder. 1-2 pitch here with 2 outs. Coons kicks and deals. Up and away. 2-2. Catcher Carson Tinney had to stand up to make that catch. Wearing an all-gold helmet. Very reminiscent of the Notre Dame football helmets that you'll see him wear. 2-2, 2 outs. Runner on third for Cotuit. The pitch. In and at the belt of Sanderson. Brushes him back a little bit. Count now full. Kevin Frady in the third base coaching box for Cotuit, shouting some commands and words of support. Outfield straight away, same with the infield. Full count. Coons dealing to Sanderson. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3, bottom part of the strike zone. 5 strikeouts on the day for Tegan Coons through 2 innings. We'll head to the bottom of the second here at Stony Brook Field. Score still tied 1-1. And actually, we're going to take it to the third member of our team, Brooke Kilgore.
Guys, fresh off the plane from UCLA and a historic College World Series appearance is left-handed pitcher Ian May. Taking the mound in Cotuit's maroon road jersey, the rising redshirt senior makes his first start, a big addition for the Kettleers rotation. The Bruins' first World Series trip since 2013, May threw in 3 outings, including a 6-4 win over Murray State. This spring, the California native pitched 70 2/3 innings with 47 strikeouts and a 4.97 ERA. His other accolades include a nomination to the 2024 preseason All-Pac-12 team with Cal, where he spent his first 3 seasons, and a spot on the 2025 Los Angeles Regional Tournament team. Back to the box.
That was the third member of our team, Brooke Kilgore. Brooke, thank you so much for that hit. And us learning more about the Cotuit Kettleers while we're at it. We'll take a quick break here at Stony Brook Field.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers' top of the order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Bottom of the second, Brewster coming up to bat. It will be 6, 7, and 8. Carson Tinney, Carson Kearse and Michael Anderson. It's still a 1-1 ball game. Both teams played it a run in the first. Both teams with 3 hits apiece. No errors yet on the scoreboard. Just getting underway. First pitch was just about a half hour ago, so still plenty of baseball to be played for those joining us. The first pitch from Ian May. Swing and a miss. 87 miles per hour from May. Carson Tinney at the plate against Cotuit. Just about a week ago, he went 0 for 3 with a strikeout. May shakes his head, has his sign. The lefty delivers. Breaking ball just a bit low, 75 miles per hour. May doesn't quite light up the radar gun like Tegan Coons does, but he has great off-speed pitches, doesn't allow guys to get good contact. The 1-1 called strike 2, middle cut fastball.
You said it, 86 miles an hour on the fastball, but it's all about that placement and playing it off his off-speed pitches, which all play mid to low 70s, so
1-2 inside, count will even at 2.
So it's all about playing the velocity game and trying to drop it and tunnel those pitches as well as you can if you're May.
Tenney tall in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the 2-2. Just missed a bit outside. Count will run full. May wrapping up his year at UCLA where he was the rotating Friday night starter for them. 12 starts in his 27 appearances as a Bruin. One of 3 qualified pitchers on the roster. Payoff pitch, swing and a miss. Another beautiful breaking ball for Ian May. That's his first strikeout recorded of this game. And it's a strikeout swinging.
I think Tinney was expecting a fastball on that last pitch after he went to the well with the same one on the previous offering, so swung right through it, and May won that battle.
Up will step Carson Curse. A new face for the Whitecaps facing Cotuit. First pitch to him, bottom part of the zone, another strike. Curse on the season, he's hitting .231, 6 hits and 26 at-bats. The Atlanta, Georgia native ready. The 0-1 cracked high in the air, foul and out of play. Curse at Georgia Tech. Should he stay there, you never know with the transfer portal. He'll be teammates with current Kettleer Jaron Avincula. Avincula just announcing his commitment as a Yellow Jacket. The 0-2 skips in the dirt into the glove of Natilli. A ball and 2 strikes is the count. Curse does have a home run. He's one of 3 Whitecaps with 1 long ball on the season. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Upstairs, Curse didn't offer. 2-2. 1-1 the score in this ball game here with 1 out, bottom of the second. May going through his routine off the rubber. Now he'll step back on the slab. A deep breath, shrugs his shoulders. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Called strike 3. Back-to-back strikeouts. One swinging, one looking. May is fooling these Whitecap hitters with his off-speed pitches. He doesn't need the heat. And it's very similar to what he was doing at UCLA. Averaged much less than a strikeout per inning. In fact, he was only averaging about 4.5 per 9 innings. So you break that down, simplify it, a strikeout per 2 innings for him. First pitch swinging is Michael Anderson. Fouls it to the screen.
And I like where he's spotting these pitches, too. Started low in the zone, went up with the next 2 pitches, and then had one up and out of the zone, then went to the dirt, then went for that outer corner about middle cut.
0-1. Check swing, didn't go around, just missed the zone. Count is now 1-1. Michael Anderson, tall right-handed hitter for Brewster. This is his first appearance as a Whitecap. Has been around colleges in his career. Rhode Island, transferred to Arkansas, now at Penn State. The 1-1 called strike 2 on the outside edge of the zone. An 89-mile-per-hour fastball from May. We were talking about it with the Whitecaps announcers before the game. He went A-10 to SEC to Big Ten. 1-2. Spiked a breaking ball before the plate. Count will even at 2-2.
It's a very unique path, and Penn State's a solid program in the Big Ten, so getting a different look up north, but man, Arkansas, great program, so tough to leave that.
We are Penn State. 2-2, 2 outs. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Not one, not two, 3 strikeouts on the inning for Ian May. He'll walk back to the dugout. When we come back top of the third, it will be 1, 2, and 3 due up for Cotuit, Advincula, West, and Farber. This is Cotuit Kettleers Baseball on the Ketts Digital Network.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group, protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. Improve your bat speed and working 10 to 15 a couple of times a week, that's a no-brainer for every player.
Top of 3 here at Stony Brook Field in this matchup between the Brewster Whitecaps and the Cotuit Kettleers. Things are knotted up at 1 apiece. Both teams got on the scoreboard early, scoring a run in the first, and both teams were held scoreless in the second. Good chance here for some more damage for Cotuit as 1, 2, and 3 are coming up to bat. Jared Advincula, Dean West, and Ryan Farber. 3 very powerful bats in this Cotuit lineup, not because they hunt for a long ball, but because they can pepper the ball anywhere. They earn those base hits.
It's what they've been doing today. Single, double, and you can see the power start to come along as the season goes on, too.
First pitch to the lefty Advincula. He takes upstairs, been inside as well for ball 1. The catcher, Carson Tinney, stands up. Moves some dirt off the plate with his foot. He's ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Advincula takes again. That was at the toes of his off-white cleats that have been stained a lighter red from the reddish-brown dirt that he's been playing on throughout this summer. 2 balls, no strikes, no outs to Advincula. Coons a stretch. Here's the pitch. Popped up a mile high. This one's tailing into foul ground. The third baseman Fisher camps underneath and makes the catch about 4 feet into foul territory in front of third base. A foul out for Jared Advincula. He's 0 for 2 on the day. Up will step Dean West, who has a strikeout to his name. That happened in the top of the first. West searching for his second base hit as a Kettleer. Like we were saying, he mentioned he's excited to utilize his bunting and stolen base tools of his game. The first pitch to him. Doesn't show bunt, takes a fastball upstairs for ball 1. West at UCLA was the Bruins' leadoff man. He led off every game but one. He didn't play in that one. He was also in left field every game. A consistent man. Takes a breaking ball for strike 1, count even at 1-1.
66 games, not to mention 79 hits. He was everywhere.
Truly everywhere, and he had solid numbers as well. He awaits the 1-1 pitch here with 1 out. Swung on and fouled back to the screen. In fact, it's over it. Hot off the bat on that 94-mile-per-hour fastball. 1-2 is the count. West led UCLA in walks this past season with 49. He also set the single-season record for the Bruins with hit by pitches. He was plunked 22 times. Those free passes added up. 1-2, here's the pitch. West takes up and away. Count even at 2-2. West had 24 multi-hit games for the Bruins. He didn't just get on base with free passes. Got on base with the hits, and out of those multi-hit games, 8 of those, he had 3 hits in the game. The 2-2. Swung and popped up foul. tailing towards the Brewster grandstand behind their dugout, and it will land over that. Count stays at 2-2 here with 1 out, no one on. Tie game, 1 apiece. West steps out of the batter's box, will tap his cleats with his black bat. Now will dig back in. The lefty stares down the righty Coons. Coons with a deep breath on the mound. Glove at his belt. Long pause, now into his windup. The pitch. Swung and fouled back to the screen. Staying alive is West. Kettleers ball kid wins the race to the baseball, and he'll run back behind the screen. Farber on deck. Got the first hit of the ball game for the Kets. Came around to score the first run of the ball game. West trying to get on base here with a 2-2 count, 1 outs. Infield straight away, same as the outfield. The pitch, ripped in the air, right side into shallow right field for a base hit. West will stay put at first. The 4th hit of the ball game for the Kettleers, the first of the day for West.
Way to dig that one out by West. He saw that ball just dipping out of the zone and lowered his bat to meet it. Did a good job to fish it out, make some good contact into right field.
1 away, Ryan Farber up to bat. Peers back to the first base dugout where Lauren Hibbs is giving him signs. West can steal bases. Brewster knows that. A pickoff attempt over to first. West back safely with a head-first slide. He'll be sporting a dirt stain on his maroon jersey for the rest of the game. Another pickoff attempt, and they couldn't get West. That one a lot closer than the first. An audible groan from the Brewster fans. West dancing. He's got a 2-stride lead over at first base. Another pickoff attempt. That one not nearly as close as the previous one. West has been back with 3 straight head-first slides, and he'll call time to talk things over with Tim O'Connor at first base.
And now for a pitcher, Coons, this takes you totally out of your rhythm. You have had to throw back 3 straight times, and now Dean West is talking to the first base coach. So you just want to get out there and throw a pitch, but everything is off in your timing. So if you're Coons, now you have to really dial in and dig it in. But this is the big positive of having a base runner like a guy like Dean West or even Jaron Advincula at the top of your order. There's 3 straight. Farber has the same effect when he's on first.
Lengthy pause in play. West talking things over with the first base umpire. Now Tim O'Connor's trying to figure out what happened. The home plate umpire, Rick Antonio, wrote something down in his notebook and is now talking things over with the first base umpire, George Stransky. West called time to talk things over with the first base coach after diving back to first base 3 straight times. And so now there's a committee meeting between all 3 umpires as Pablo Bustamante walks over to hear what's going on. Everyone trying to be on the same page. Antonio is motioning safe. Whatever the problem was, everyone appears now to be on the same page, including West at first and Tim O'Connor, the first base coach for the Kettleers. A pitch has still not been offered to Ryan Farber, who has been standing patiently in the left-handed batter's box. He digs in, and now the first pitch is thrown. Bit low in the zone. Farber was showing bunt. Pulled it back. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. West is still at first. Farber getting signs again from the first base dugout. Stares at the orange barrel of his bat. A pickoff attempt again to West at first. He's safe again. 4 pickoff attempts thrown by the pitcher Coons. Only 1 pitch has been offered to Farber, who is 1 for 1 today. Another pickoff attempt. West back again with a head-first slide. We'll need to record myself saying that and just keep playing it. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 away. We'll see if Farber shows bunt. Should a pitch be offered to him? And there will be a pitch. Ripped on the ground to first off the glove of Anderson. Throw to first is in time to retire Farber, but West advances to second.
That was impressive by the right side of that Brewster infield to stay with the play. skipped off the glove of Anderson, took a weird hop, but Wentz was with it the whole way and got to Farber. But the job is still done. Move the runner over West.
West now stands in scoring position. He would be the Kettleers' second run of the ball game. Score is still tied at 1 apiece. And the biggest news now with West at second, no more pickoff attempts to first base yet, as it stands unoccupied. 1 on, 2 out. The batter is Jack Natilli, who has a double to his name today. The righty waving his bat above his helmet. The pitch, hit high in the air towards center field. Back goes Ragsdale. He's at the wall, and he'll make the catch just a few steps short of the warning track. 1 left on base for the Kettleers, still on the hunt for run number 2. We'll head to the bottom of the third. Ball game still tied at 1 on the Kettleers digital network.
If you need to dig, lift, move, grade, clear, or cut, pump, weld, clean, light, and just about anything else, dial up the rental source for the newest and the most reliable equipment in New England. Staffed with equipment and construction experts. Milton Rents, your local source.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we're known for our monster wins. But there's no bigger win than the $1 billion divide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. In our game, we know that supporting local businesses and helping communities is how we all win. Because at the lottery, we're all playing for the home team. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
You can make any bat feel lighter by adding a velo puck. You'll get a hole. If you can simply add the puck to it, players can use this with any bat. It's basically going to shift the weight of the bat a little bit more towards the hands. Players are able to hit the ball a lot harder just by simply adding the puck on.
Bottom of 3, Stony Brook Field. It's a fun one. The Cotuit Kettleers, 1 run on 4 hits, no errors. The Brewster Whitecaps, 1 run on 3 hits, no errors. Due up for Brewster, 9-1-2. Adam Magpok, Josiah Ragsdale, and Cal Fisher. This will be Magpok's first plate appearance today. Both Ragsdale and Fisher with a hit apiece to their name. But Ian May, who's on the mound for the Kettleers, really settled down in the second inning. He retired all 3 batters he faced via a punch-out. The lefty ready on the mound. Here's the pitch. Found the outside part of the strike zone. 0-1 the count on Adam Magpok. Magpok swinging a right-handed stick. He's 5'8", 165, plays his ball at Boston College. The 0-1 chopped on the ground. Farber charging in, takes a couple steps with the ball and will throw to first in time to retire Adam Magpok. 6-3 on the putout, and up will step Josiah Ragsdale. Farber can play just about anywhere on the infield. Has really shown great defensive prowess on the left side of the infield, both at shortstop and at third base. We've said it before this season, he can make the highlight plays look routine. Up steps Josiah Ragsdale, who is 1 for 1 today. He singled and came around to score. The first pitch to him, a knee-high fastball for strike 1. 1 away here. Infield shaded to their lefts, the third baseman Johnson playing in. The pitch, cracked on the ground, 1 hopper to the pitcher, May. He'll take a couple steps, an underhand toss to first in time to retire Ragsdale. 2 up, 2 down.
Strong fielding by the Kets. May saw that one all the way into the glove on the hill, made the easy toss to first, and he's been cruising.
Well, I thought that was in time to retire Ragsdale, but he's at first base.
There's no shot.
Gonna have to look and see what that's ruled. It's ruled. So initially it was ruled a ground out to first base, and that's what I saw. But now Ragsdale's at first. The scorecard still says he's out. Pickoff attempt to first. Tag is applied, but not in time. Ragsdale back safely with a head-first slide.
The official scoring is staying ground out, but I guess he's on.
It's not the case because there's one out and he's at first. Another pickoff attempt, Ragsdale back standing. Still waiting to see what happened. The scoring is not updated on the Cape League website. We're hearing catcher's interference. The first pitch to Fisher, he takes low. Ball 1. Fisher today 1 for 1. He singled in the first. That advanced Ragsdale all the way to third base, setting up Dalton Wentz, who's on deck for an RBI single. The 1-0 misses outside. 2-0 is the count here with one out.
Yeah, the live stats still haven't updated to say that Ragsdale's on.
So if you're watching those stats and listening, there's a runner on first, only one out. Infield now playing at double play depth. Ragsdale's at first. 2-0 is the count. A pickoff attempt back to first. Not in time. Go ahead and call it catcher's interference on Ragsdale. We'll wait to get it confirmed, but initially that's the thought. 2 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch from May. Swung and chopped foul. Couple feet to the left of the third base bag. 2-1. Still a 1-1 ball game. Both teams scoring in the first inning. Nothing since. Brewster still at 3 hits, so it wasn't a hit from Ragsdale that got him on base. That's at least correct. Advincula shaded nearly up the middle for the right-handed hitting Cal Fisher, playing behind the second base bag. Another pickoff attempt, no tag applied. Ragsdale back standing. Outfield shaded to their right. Fisher on the season, just 3 plate appearances. Swipes the 2-1 foul back to the screen. 2-2 is the count. Fisher came into this game 1 for 2. With an RBI. The pitcher, Ian May, tosses the baseball back to Natilli. He wants a new one. And he gets a fresh baseball. Count is still 2-2 with 1 out. Shadows creeping across the third base line as the sun is setting here in Brewster. May has a sign, glove at his belt. A deep breath, a quick check, the pitch. In and at the feet of Cal Fisher. Count has run full, 3-2. May retired Magpok to start this inning on a nice ground out. Looked to have 2 outs under his belt, but now Ragsdale's at first. Another deep breath. Here's the 3-2. Popped up a mile high, tailing foul from the start, and it will land way back behind the grandstands on the third base side. Count will stay at 3-2. Fisher stepped out of the batter's box. He's now getting some grip on his batting gloves from his yellow bat. Looks yellow. Call it a natural wood, but there's, I think they call it a primer or a finish on that wooden bat. Gives it a nice golden hue. 3-2, 1 away. Here's the pitch. Ripped in the air up the middle, sinking into shallow center field for a base hit. Ragsdale took a big turn at second, and now he'll scamper back as the throw goes to Advincula covering, but he's back safely. Fisher reaches with a single. Ragsdale now stands at second, 1 out here, and up will step Dalton Wentz, who has the only RBI for Brewster today. Wentz singled in the first, and that brought in Ragsdale. We'll get a meeting on the mound. Tim O'Connor walks out there. We'll bring the infield and the catcher in as well to talk things over with the lefty May, who has had a bit of a roller coaster day so far. In the first inning, surrendered 3 hits, a run, got a nifty double play turned by Farber to springboard him out of that inning. and then in the second struck out the only 3 batters he faced, and now back here in the third, he has 2 on with only 1 out.
It's been really interesting, like you said, and he was so dominant in that second inning and had a really nice start to this third, and I think the catcher's interference call, whatever it may be, really threw him off coming into this one because it seemed like that was just out number 2 real easy, and then it's taken out from under him, and Ragsdale was safe, and then when something like that happens, it's easy for events to snowball out there, and then he faced a long count against Cal Fisher. Now you've got another really tough hitter up in Dalton Wentz.
We still don't have an official ruling on the Ragsdale reaching base. The first pitch offered to Wentz, he takes. Low in the zone, ball 1. 1 away, runners on first and second. Ragsdale at second, Fisher on first. May, with 10 seconds on the pitch clock, steps on the third base side of the slab. Checks the runner at second, now delivers. Both runners go. Throw to second. Avincula's there, applies the tag. It's not in time. Both runners reach safely on a double steal.
It's just good base running right there from the Whitecaps. Perfectly executed on a breaking ball, and then until he has to gun that one to second with Wentz in his view of third base and just couldn't quite get there.
Brewster came into this game with 25 stolen bases. That's second in the Cape League. The 2-0 pitch hit hard on the ground, past the third baseman Johnson and into left field. Ragsdale scores easy. Holding at third is Fisher. Throw in goes towards Johnson at third. Dalton Wentz stays at first base. It's a 1-run single. Runners at the corners still for Brewster here with 1 out. Wentz's second RBI of the day. He's plated both runs for the Whitecaps, both on singles to the outfield.
And as far as the online scoring is concerned, it's still a 1-1 ball game.
Doubt we'll get much of an answer on that for now. So the scoreboard on the Cape League website, incorrect. It is a 2-1 ball game here now. Brewster up on Cotuit. 1 away, runners at the corners. May delivers a first pitch ball to the designated hitter, Alex Sosa. Sosa grounded into a double play his first time up today. A double play here within the inning. Farber shaded to his left about 5 or so feet to the left of the second base bag. Showing bunt is Sosa, and he gets a piece of it, but it's hit foul back behind home plate. Count even at 1 apiece. Wentz at first got a great jump. He'll take a slow walk back to first base where Case Sanderson is holding him close. Large gap between Sanderson and Advincula. Farber again shaded towards second. Johnson playing with his toes in the infield grass. The 1-1. Swung and belted high towards center field. Wiggins will take a couple steps back, measure, make the catch. Tagging from third and coming home is Fisher. Throw goes to second base. Fisher scores on a deep sacrifice fly to center. Staying put at first is Wentz. The Whitecaps have plated 2 this inning. They're now up 3-1.
Just a good idea by Sosa. Shoot it out to center field, and Wiggins far too deep to be able to make that throw in. And he made the smart play. Hit the cutoff man. Don't try to gun it all the way home and potentially allow Wentz to advance too.
Runner remains on first for the Kettleers. Blake Sear up for the Whitecaps. He is 0 for 1 today. Popped out to Advincula at second base to end the first inning. 2 away here, bottom of the third. Brewster up 3-1. The first pitch swung, and it's a soft shot right above the first baseman Sanderson. He's back and he's down the first base line, can't make the catch. Coming around third is Wentz, but he'll throw on the brakes as the throw comes into the catcher Natili. Sear stands at second. 2 runners in scoring position for Brewster. Things are still looking dicey for Cotuit.
Third hit of the inning, and that's just a tough one. Looks like it would be an out, but it was in that weird space where you don't really know whose ball that is. Is it Sanderson's or is it Stevens? And that one falls pretty often.
We'll have another meeting on the mound. This looks to be the end of the road for Ian May, who came into this inning with the score tied 1-1. Brewster now up 3-1. We'll take a quick break here on the Kettleers Digital Network. We'll tell you all about the new pitcher when we return.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Brewster has been dealing some damage here in the bottom of the third. They've plated 2 runs in this inning, still 2 on base with 2 outs. We have a pitching change now on the mound for the Kets. Wyatt Halverson.
The hurler from Arizona State. He's been used in different roles this summer so far with Cotuit. He's been a bit of a middle inning reliever type, and they've thrown him into late inning situations as well, but he's had more success as a middle reliever, so I really like him in this spot. Has made a couple of 2 to 3 inning appearances. Only a 2.16 ERA on the summer, so I think he's the right man for the job here.
Halverson standing at 6'3", 215. Stocky right-hander out of Scottsdale, Arizona. The Sun Devil making his way cross-country this summer. As a team, Brewster is hitting .250 against left-handed pitchers, like Ian May was, only .210 against right-handed pitchers, and there's a lot of right-handed arms in Cotuit's bullpen. The first batter Halverson will face with 2 outs here is Carson Tinney, the catcher hitting from the 6th spot. Halverson has his sign, black glove set at his belt. The first pitch, Tinney takes upstairs, 85 miles per hour for ball 1. Wentz is at third base. Sear is at second. Neither being held on by the Kettleers. The 1-0 pitch, just a bit outside, 90 miles per hour that time. 2 balls, no strikes. Outfield straight away. Infield now shaded to their rights for the right-handed hitting Tinney. The pitch. Low, nearly in the dirt when Natilli got a glove on it. 3 straight balls to Carson Tinney. Count is 3-0. No walks have been issued so far from Cotuit. May didn't issue one. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Middle fastball is popped up foul and out of play. Brewster 3 runs on 6 hits now. A lot of that damage has been done this inning. The 3-1 pitch from Halverson. Tipped foul and out of the mid of Natilli. Pops in front of him. He'll get a new baseball and toss it to Halverson. Count is full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. This will be Halverson's 5th appearance of the summer for the Kets. That ties him with Tyler Albanese for most by a Kets pitcher. Halverson has his sign. Checks both runners. Now delivers. Tipped foul back to the screen. Count will stay at 3-2. Tenney today is 0 for 1. Struck out swinging in the second, the first strikeout of the evening for Ian May. Tenney looking to avoid that same fate here. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Halverson comes into the game with 2 runners in scoring position and gets a strikeout swinging, his first of the night. That will end the third. Brewster up by 2. We'll head to the top of the fourth for Cotuit due up. Wiggins, Johnson, and Stevens here on the Kettleers Digital Network.
Cape Cod 5 is proud to be the official banking partner of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Cape Cod 5 offers a broad range of financial products and services tailored for every stage in your financial journey. Reach out to us. We're here to help.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Run support can be a pitcher's best friend, and run support is now in the back pocket of Tegan Coons, who is out on the bump for his 4th inning of work. Sporting a teal and black gradient 48 on the back of his pinstripe jersey. Coons so far today has surrendered 4 hits to Cotuit batters, only 1 earned run. He has struck out 5 already this game. 1 more and he'll match his season high for the Whitecaps. Should he get 2 more, I mean, I guess you could call it a career high, because then that would be more strikeouts than he pitched all throughout an outing in college as well.
It would be a Cape high, a Tennessee high for him, and this is just great experience here against a lot of high caliber bats team by team on Cape, and just to get that after your freshman season is invaluable.
3-1 the score in this one. Brewster up. The first pitch to Andrew Wiggins, ripped on a line to the glove of Michael Anderson, the first baseman, who dropped to 1 knee to make that catch.
It's great contact, but unfortunately straight to the first baseman, like you said, Anderson. Right place, right time.
I'll bring up Camden Johnson. On deck will be Nolan Stevens. Johnson 1 for 1 today. He ripped a double in his first plate appearance, his 4th of the season. Leads the Kettleers in extra base hits. He got it going game 1 of the season as well. The first pitch to him. Off-speed pitch high in the zone. A ball and no strikes with 1 away. Third baseman for Brewster, Cal Fisher, playing in. Rest of the infield playing deep. Johnson, the lefty, ready. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Johnson takes a breaking ball in the inside part of the strike zone. 1-1. Plenty of fans here. It's a well-attended ball game here at Stony Brook Field. A lot of fans out in the center field berm as well. Perched up. Here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. Pitch was in the bottom part of the strike zone. 1-2. 1 out here. Should Coons get through this inning, that would also match the innings pitched in his first appearance at 4. Here's the pitch. Swiped foul over the third base dugout. Count will stay at 1-2. Johnson on the season came into this one hitting 200 flat. He's now up to 10 hits on the year. He awaits. Brown belt waving behind his batting helmet. The kick and the pitch. Ripped on the ground, right side, past the third baseman Fisher. That's the left side of the infield. And Johnson is aboard, 2 for 2 today.
Really solid day of hitting so far for Camden Johnson. Seems like the 6-hole might be his spot. He's been producing really well in that part of the lineup.
It just split the gap between Curse and Fisher, the shortstop and third baseman for Brewster. Johnson, no stranger to going opposite field for his base hits. With one away, up will step Nolan Stevens, who struck out looking in his only plate appearance today. That was back in the second. The third strikeout of the day for Coons. First pitch in and at the knees of Stevens. 91 miles per hour. Stevens hoping not for a repeat performance of this first game against Brewster where he went 0 for 4, had 3 strikeouts. Pickoff attempt to first, not in time. Johnson back with a slide. Plenty of brown infield dirt across his uniform. A ball, no strikes, 1 out. Here's the pitch. Called strike, breaking ball, about knee high. Stevens, 6'3", 210. Has a larger strike zone. Another pickoff attempt, not in time. Johnson, when he had a double, he reached third via a stolen base. Another pickoff, not in time. That was Johnson's 5th stolen base on the season, 2nd on the Kettleers, only behind Jernan Vincula. He's got about a 2-stride lead at first. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Pitches upstairs. Throw down to second. In time. Got the tag down on Johnson's left arm that was extending towards second base.
I think that was intended to be a hit and run as well because Stevens just threw his bat at that pitch high in the zone. So now he's down in the count, and there's 2 down in the inning.
2 away, 1 and 2 the count on Stevens. Outfield straight away, infield playing at normal depth. Here's the pitch. Hit back up the middle, into center field for a base hit. Take a couple hops to Ragsdale and Hill fired, and Stevens content with a single. And up will step Rentaro Sasaki.
And Stevens did a good job of getting his bat to the outer part of the plate and still putting a really good swing on it, just sending it straight into center field. It's hard to time up a pitch that far out of your wheelhouse.
Cotuit has had no problem getting hits. They have 6 on the day. That matches Brewster. Getting the runners home has been a different story. First pitch to Sasaki. He'll take upstairs, 92 miles per hour. 1-0 the count on Rentaro, who struck out swinging his first time up today. Another pickoff over to first. That one caught Stevens a bit by surprise, hesitating before diving back to the first base bag. Large gap up the middle. The second baseman Wentz playing halfway between the first and second base bag. The pitch is in and at the knees of Sasaki. Count will run to 2-0. Sasaki only 2 hits on the year, and before another pitch can be offered to him, there'll be a meeting on the mound between Tenney the catcher, Coons the pitcher, and the pitching coach for Brewster, Brian Del Rosso. Just a battery meeting with the pitching coach, talking how to attack Sasaki, who holds the only home run hit by Cotuit this summer. Cotuit 10th in the Cape League with only 1 home run. Brewster has 3. They're tied for 8th. So 2 teams that don't tend to hit a lot of long balls, instead relying on those base hits to stack up. Rentaro taps the plate 2 times with his torpedo bat and now bounces it on his back shoulder. The 2-0 pitch. Sasaki takes inside part of the zone at 92 miles per hour. 2 balls and 1 strike now.
I think Ritaro's looking for anything low in the zone right now. It seems like it's his hot spot. Hasn't offered it anything on the middle to higher half.
2-1 the pitch. Swung and popped up foul over the press box. Count will draw even at 2-2 with 2 outs. Stevens kicking dirt a couple steps outside of first base. It's about where he's taking his lead, not wanting to get caught up in any loose dirt. When he gets a jump here with 2 strikes and 2 outs, here's the pitch. Sasaki pops it up. It's high. It will stay within the infield. Calling for it is the shortstop Kirsten will make the catch right near the second base bag. We'll head to Brooke Kilgore, the 3rd member of our team, as we just wrapped up the top of the 1st. Brooke.
Well, guys, Dean West said it best when he told reporters at the College World Series that he wanted to show the country what West Coast baseball is all about. The left fielder is one of 8 other Kettleers who represent that side of the U.S., with players from UCLA, Cal, Stanford, San Jose State, UC Santa Barbara, and Arizona State. While West Coast programs have produced some of the top players on the Cape, last year's MLB draft only saw 3 go in the first round. Since 2000, only 4 national championships have been from California and Arizona combined. However, with UCLA's dominant performance a couple of weeks ago and the presence of the West Coast on the Cape, it's hard to deny the impact these Western League players are leaving on the field, with Brandon Halverson on the mound.
Thank you, Brooke. We'll take a quick break. Coming up, the bottom of the 4th, Curse Anderson and Magpok due up for the Whitecaps.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers top of the order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs. The Kettleers' Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Beacon Gardens, Osterville.
Bottom of the 4th, Brewster up 3-1 over the Cotuit Kettleers, both teams with 6 hits apiece. It'll be Carson, Curse, Michael Anderson, and Adam Magpok getting their first look at the Cotuit righty Wyatt Halverson. His first pitch, called strike on the outside corner of the strike zone. Curse today, 0 for 1, had a strikeout looking in his first plate appearance. That was the middle of 3 strikeouts from Ian May in the 2nd. The 0-1, swing and a miss at a ball low and away. Count quickly 0-2 on Curse.
This is the stuff we were impressed with the first time we saw Halverson this season against Wareham. A big breaking ball paired with that fastball. Hard to hit when he's at his best.
Glove is his belt. Halverson kicks and deals. Breaking ball swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts swinging from Wyatt Halverson. That stretches back into the previous inning when he came in with 2 away, 2 on, and he struck out Carson Tenney to end the inning. Up will step Michael Anderson, who is still playing in his first appearance for the Whitecaps. Anderson struck out swinging to end the 2nd inning. The college baseball journeyman, the first pitch to him, swing and a miss. Halverson really just peppering, I can't even say peppering the zone. He's getting swings and misses on balls that are low and away. So really fooling these Whitecaps hitters. Deep breath, here's the 0-1. Breaking ball barely caught a piece of it and chopped it foul towards the Brewster third base dugout.
Another part of this equation is Ian May's fastballs were only a little bit quicker than the off-speed pitches that Halverson is throwing, so everyone's getting readjusted to the new reliever's speed, and it takes a second.
0-2, 1 out. Halverson, the pitch, upstairs, 91 miles per hour. 1-2. Halverson, 13 pitches, 9 of them have been strikes. The only 2 outs he's recorded have been strikeouts. Halverson has his sign. Middle of the rubber, the pitch. Hit high in the air and foul ground, first base side. Sanderson camping out underneath and will make the catch up above his hat. About 3 or 4 steps into foul ground. 2 away here, bottom of the 4th. Up will step the 9-hole hitter, Adam Magpok, who is 0 for 1 today. He grounded out to shortstop his first time up. That was the first out recorded in the 3rd inning. This will be the lefty Magpok's first look at a right-handed hurler today. Halverson ready, the pitch. Upstairs on Magpok. Adam, 5'8", 165, a bit of a smaller strike zone than the 6-foot-plus tall Anderson. The pitch, swung on and cracked foul down the third base line. Count even at 1 apiece. Outfield straight away. Wiggins may be playing a step or 2 in. Looks closer at first glance. Infield at normal depth. 1-1, the pitch. Just a bit upstairs, and I mean just a bit. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Sanderson at first base, hugging the line, about 4 steps from the chalk. 2-1, 2 outs, the pitch. In there for strike 2. Magpok was taking all the way. He'll step out of the box, adjust his batting helmet, tap his bat on home plate, and get reset. 3-1 the score in this one. Brewster up. Halverson, the 2-2. Barely got a piece of it. Chops it foul down the first base line. It was a slow roller. Didn't even make it past first base. Count will stay at 2-2. Farber at shortstop reaches down, touches some dirt. He's ready, halfway between second and third base. Avincula playing deep in the pocket as well. 2-2, popped up high. Farber out into left field. Coming in is West. He's calling for it, and he'll make the catch. A 1-2-3 inning work from Wyatt Halverson keeps this a 3-1 ball game. We'll take a break here on the Kettleers Digital Network. When we return, Kettleers up to bat.
Has found his stride in the Seattle Mariners lineup since being recalled from AAA earlier this month.
Get ready for big results with our small machines. With more power, performance, comfort, and savings, they are ready for every job. And we're ready with plenty of inventory, the best support in the business, same-day parts availability, and locations across the Northeast. So you can always be ready to work. Milton Cat, always ready.
When we see our patient, our philosophy is to not just take care of the isolated pathology or problem that they're here for. We look at the care of a patient as the whole patient, how they hold hands with a spouse or partner, how they engage with their children or grandchildren. These are important things in the equation of how we decide optimal treatment for patients, whether that's non-operative or operative intervention. Every patient gets treated as a family member or as a pro athlete in our mind. We provide concierge level of care. That's how we want it done for our own, and that's what we continue to do here in the greater Boston area.
Here at the Mass State Lottery, we know there's no bigger win than the $1 billion we provide each year to support all 351 cities and towns in Massachusetts. Now that's how we all win. The Mass State Lottery. Welcome to the state of winning.
Top of the 5th here at Stony Brook Field, just behind Stony Brook Elementary in the beautiful Brewster, Massachusetts, for this matchup between the Whitecaps and the Kettleers. Tegan Coons' day is done for the Whitecaps after 4 complete innings. The new pitcher on the bump for the Whitecaps, Connor.
The new Longhorn, Hayden LeFew, he's been sparkling in 4 outings so far this summer for the Whitecaps. 1.93 ERA and 9 1/3 innings pitched. 12 strikeouts to his name. He's only allowed 3 runs. Guess who scored those off of him? The Cotuit Kettleers, the first time these teams met.
LeFew has just had a phenomenal season. 9 1/3 innings pitched, like you said. Those 12 strikeouts are a team high. The 9.1 innings pitched are also a team high. He has been a workhorse for the Whitecaps. Also a left-handed pitcher. The first pitch to the lefty, Sanderson, is a strike. It will be Sanderson, Avincula, and West, 9-1-2, due up for the Kettleers. Sanderson with a moment to recollect himself outside of the batter's box, now back in there. The pitch, again called strike. That one at the knees of Sanderson. Count quickly 0-2. LeFew, the lefty on the mound, 6'1", 225. He likes to work quick. His brown glove at the belt. 10 on the pitch clock. The pitch, ripped on the ground, right side and into right field. It one-hopped into the outfield grass, and now Sanderson reaches with a leadoff single.
We saw him tag a foul ball out to right field his first time up, and you can tell the swing is starting to come around a little bit for Sanderson, who's done a good job of getting on base, but has struggled to put bat to ball consistently, at least hard contact, and we saw him put a good charge into that ball on the ground.
Leadoff man aboard for the Kets. Up steps Jared Avincula. The pitch to him, showing bunt, pops it up high. The catcher, Tinney, measures and will glove it, still within the dirt circle right around home plate. An unfortunate bunt pop-out for Jared Avincula, looking to advance Sanderson. Now one out. Still a runner on first in this 3-1 ball game. Cotuit trying to inch back.
And sometimes it's tough to place that perfect bunt. Sometimes the pitch will stay a little high on you and it catches the top of your barrel, then it goes sailing into the air, and it's an easy play for the catcher.
First pitch to Dean West is at his cleats. A ball and no strikes. LeFew, a really exaggerated arm motion, you could say, almost a windmill. He brings his arm way back and over the shoulder on his delivery. He stares down. The runner at first now fires. Misses outside. Count 2-0 on Dean West, who is 1 for 2 today. Struck out his first time up, singled in the third. Now 2 hits in a Kettleers uniform for the fresh off-the-boat UCLA Bruin. 2-0 pitch. West takes a strike, 83 miles per hour from LeFew. 2-1 the count here with 1 out. Infield tucks the corners in. Middle infielders playing at double play depth for Brewster. The 2-1. Chopper on the ground, left side. Shortstop Kearse grabs it, throws to first, not in time. The ball skips away from the first baseman Anderson. He'll pounce on it. Runner stays put at second, and Sanderson. West reaches. Would assume that will be called an error on the first baseman. We'll get the ruling, and it's ruled a single, so no error on the play. Call it the second hit of the day for Dean West.
He made it in before that throw got there, and it made it past the third baseman, so it got pretty deep into the hole at shortstop. Long throw for Kearse, and West clearly has some speed down the line, so he made it in safely.
2 on, 1 out. Kettleers down by 2. Go-ahead run at the plate in the form of Ryan Farber, who is 1 for 2 anyways. The pitch, fastball strike, middle. Farber singled, came around to score in the first. He grounded out in his last plate appearance. The switch hitter now in the right-handed batter's box, matching up against the lefty LeFew. LeFew checks Sanderson. Now the pitch. Farber showed bunt, quickly pulled it back as that pitch was inside. Count even at 1-1. Still not a lot of wind. Shadows have crept across the infield grass, now consumed the pitcher's mound. And that's about where the shadows stop. First and second still in the sun. LeFew checks the runner at second. The 1-1. Farber takes, caught the bottom part of the strike zone. 1-2. Infield, normal positions, outfield straight away. Runners West and Sanderson with large leads at their respective bags. The 1-2 pitch. Ripped in the air towards center field. Measuring is Ragsdale. He'll come in and make the catch. Neither runner tags. Now 2 away. Runners remain on first and second.
Good job to getting quickly on that ball by Ragsdale. Kettleers got to look for some 2-out magic now.
Jack Natilli up. Natilli today, 1 for 2, had an RBI double in the first. That scored the Kettleers' only run of the ballgame thus far. The catcher, Carson Tinney, adjusts his mask. Now he's back behind his crouch. Natilli, the right-handed hitter, digs in. He awaits the first pitch from LeFew. Glove at the belt, now the delivery. First pitch is a strike, bottom part of the strike zone. Natilli swinging a black bat, matching his black batting gloves. Gap between the shortstop and third baseman should he get a ball on the ground pull side. Here's the 0-1. Upstairs. Off-speed pitch, 1-1. West is at first. Sanderson is at second. Kettleers are down by 2. Brief pause, 10 on the pitch clock. Natilli digs back in. Bat held high above his helmet. The pitch. Belted high in the air towards center field. Going back is Ragsdale. He's measuring short of the wall and will make the catch. Glove up above his head. It's another deep flyout for Jack Natilli. Cotuit strands a pair of runners in the top of the 5th. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. Still a 3-1 ballgame, and when we return on the play-by-play, Connor Shue.
If you can dream it, if you can cruise in it, if you can summer in it, fish from it, or take it for a day at the beach, we can protect it. The Baldwin Group. Protecting the possible.
There hasn't been a ton of training when it comes to bat speed or products for players to be able to train bat speed. You can improve your bat speed and reach your goals working 10 to 15 minutes a day on this a couple of times a week. That's a no-brainer for every player.
Bottom of the 5th inning, Wyatt Halverson out there for the Cotuit Kettleers. They're down 1-3 at the hands of the Brewster Whitecaps. Due up the top of the order for the Whitecaps, Josiah Ragsdale, Cal Fisher, Dalton Wentz. Coming up, the center fielder, third baseman, and second baseman. All of them have reached twice so far this game, Chris.
It's been the part of the lineup that Brewster's really done the damage in. I mean, you look at the top half of the lineup card and the bottom half of the lineup card, it's just two totally different stories. All the hits and all the runs are coming from the first 5 batters of the game.
In steps Josiah Ragsdale. A single his first time up. He came all the way around to score. In his second time up, he reached on a catcher's interference, stole third, and scored that time as well. Wyatt Halverson from Arizona State, working center of the rubber, fires his first pitch, a strike on the breaking stuff. Halverson threw 1 1/3 complete, a pair of strikeouts to his name. Ragsdale takes a breath, steps back into the left-handed batter's box, waves the all-natural wood-colored barreled bat over his left shoulder. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball stays high. Count evens 1-1. It's a 3-1 ball game. Brewster up over Cotuit here in the bottom of the 5th. Cotuit holds the advantage hits-wise 8-6. Here's the pitch. High chopper towards the pitcher's mound. Halverson gloves, fires in the dirt. Nice scoop by Sanderson, but Ragsdale reached in time on a Baltimore chop single.
I mean, that is the true definition of a Baltimore chop. That ball landed about 5 or so inches in front of home plate and popped up a mile high. And by the time it finally came down to Halverson's glove, I mean, Ragsdale, who has so much speed, was well on his way to first base. Halverson did have to rush the throw a little bit.
In steps Cal Fisher, playing third base today out of Florida State. Pair of singles for him, a stolen base as well. Scored back in the third. The right-handed stick is ready for Halverson's first offer. He kicks and throws that one. Stood up Natili on the tall fastball. 1-0 count. A runner on first, Josiah Ragsdale. No wind. Some light cloud cover here as we get towards nighttime at Stony Brook Field. Infield playing at double play depth as there's a toss back to first, not in time. Ragsdale, the Cape Cod Baseball League steals leader, now with 12 after one more today. Looking for number 13. He's got a decent lead off first. Halverson fires, runner goes, and that popped out of Natili's glove. So Ragsdale's in there safely.
He's now 13 for 15 on stolen bases this season. He can hit, he can run, pretty much anything you can ask him to do, Ragsdale can offer.
A runner on second with no outs here in the bottom of the fifth. Brewster leading 3-1. Cal Fisher points at Halverson, signaling he's ready to go. Steps back into the box. The right-handed swinging third baseman, a slight crouch in his stance. Halverson a long stare at second. Turns home, fires, swing and a miss on the fastball. It's a 2-1 count. No one out. Halverson looking to keep this one a 3-1 ball game. Cotuit is down. Here's his 2-1 offer. Shot high in the air out to left field. Jogging back for it off a couple of steps is Dean West, now coming in and making the grab. Ragsdale threatened to tag but stayed. The throw-in skipped off of the body of Camden Johnson. But no trouble for the Kettleers. There's one down.
West took a couple more steps back than he needed to on that one, knowing that he wanted to step into his throw off the catch. Ragsdale with speed at second. He's a threat to take any base no matter where the ball is hit.
I was surprised that Ragsdale didn't tag on that. It was plenty deep. West was not too far from the warning track out there in left field. Here's Dalton Wentz, the switch-hitting second baseman, batting left-handed against the right-handed hurler, Wyatt Halverson. Staring at second, he looks home. High fastball was outside, 1-0 count. Halverson stays low 90s, usually 92, 93 on the fastball, but it plays faster. 1-0 count. Halverson a peek back, a throwback. The tag on the head is in time by Farber. Out number 2, and it looked like a real close play.
I mean, the tag was applied very quick by Farber right on the back of Ragsdale's jersey. I mean, with the speed of Ragsdale, you really have to get him to make it look, like you got him. That was just a bang-bang play.
We'll call it a necessary pickoff at second. 2 down now. Brewster batting with no one on. The pitch to Wentz is low. 2-0.
Out of all the names that you would think today, who would get picked off? Ragsdale would be towards the bottom of my list.
He was gunning for that third stolen base on the day. The kick and the pitch from Halverson. Wentz held up. No swing on the fastball that drew outside. Infield remains fairly even. Jaron Advincula with both feet in the outfield, deep in the second base hole. Everyone else true to their position. The 3-0 pitch, a fastball just over the plate, a touch high, but it nicked the top corner. 3-1 count, 3-1 ball game. Brewster up on Cotuit in the bottom of the fifth. Halverson, the kick and the pitch. That's rocketed out to right center field. Back on it is Wiggins to make the catch calmly towards the wall for out number 3. Halverson puts up another donut in the bottom of the fifth. It's 3-1. Brewster leads up to bat in the top of the sixth. Andrew Wiggins, Camden Johnson, Nolan Stevens. That's 5 through 7 for the Kettleers. Up next on Cape League TV.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things in real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 618 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
Boston Hand to Shoulder are a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust. Top of the 6th inning, Hayden LeFew towing the slab for the Brewster Whitecaps. The left-hander recently transferred to Texas. He faces off against the bottom half of the Kettleers order. Andrew Wiggins, Camden Johnson, Nolan Stevens. 3 left-handed sticks due up for the Kettleers. Andrew Wiggins lined out and struck out today. He'll try to shorten up the 3-1 advantage that the Whitecaps possess.
Cotuit as a team hits better against left-handed pitchers than right-handed pitchers, hitting .222 against lefties, .205 against righties, and in a lineup that's predominantly left-handed hitters, those numbers, against lefties, these lefty-lefty matchups go in favor of the Kets.
They've had a lot of them to work with. Wiggins, the Indiana transfer, steps into the box. Quick pitch from LeFew, skips in. He wastes no time to get into his delivery. LeFew, the lefty, first base side of the rubber. Steps, kicks, whips into his pitch. A strike, middle. 1-1 count. LeFew with a whip-like motion into his delivery. Steps, kicks, slingshots it over the plate. It's high, 2-1. 3-1 ball game. Brewster up on Cotuit, top of the 6th here at Stony Brook Field. LeFew, the 2-1 offer, socked high in the air. Drew way foul, 2-2 count. Wiggins showed bunt on that 2-1 pitch. Now freely swinging, he takes that in the dirt. Full count. Wiggins, an on-base percentage hovering around 500 coming into this game. 12 walks to 11 strikeouts before this one. Here comes the 3-2. Rainbow breaking pitch over the plate, called strike 3. First K for LeFew.
Second strikeout of the day from Wiggins after the day we saw from him yesterday where he had 4 walks. You would think that those would try to continue it over today, but has yet to get the call ball 4 on him.
Another left-handed stick, Camden Johnson. He is 2 for 2 today. Single and a double for the Oklahoma commit at third base. 3-1 ball game. Brewster's pitcher LeFew fires a first pitch ball down low in the dirt. 1-0 count with 1 down, no one on base. Johnson, 1 of 2 bats on the Kettleers roster committed to Oklahoma. Here's the 1-0 in there, a strike. The breaking pitch working well for LeFew. Johnson takes a breath before re-entering the left-handed batter's box. Brings the bat back over his shoulder. The 1-1 pitch. Socked foul behind the stadium into the trees. 1-2.
You can tell it's a pitch that Johnson wants when he gets out of the batter's box in a hurry. He likes to get out early, recollect himself, not let that pass pitch affect him, but he really wanted to tee off on that previous pitch.
It was middle. LeFew steps into his 1-2 delivery. High fastball. Drew Tinney off the plate, made a nice grab. It's 2-2.
Yeah, those middle pitches don't come very often.
3-1 score. Johnson is ready, as is LeFew, who whips that one over the plate. Hit high and foul to a similar spot into the foliage behind the plate. 2-2 count. Johnson readjusts before re-entering the box. Tinney, the catcher, squats back down. Johnson, a fairly straight-up stance, wide in the batter's box. The 2-2 pitch stays high. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 down, no one on in this 3-1 ball game. Cotuit looking to come back. Johnson's ready. Payoff pitch incoming. Tapped high on the ground, rolling down the first base line. Into play it is the first baseman who slips, and he can't make the play. Anderson was going to flip it to the pitcher, LeFew, but lost his footing. And now Johnson is safe at first, a 1-out base runner.
Anderson had to get on that baseball in a hurry. It was a slow enough roll to where he had to charge in to make that play and just couldn't find the footing on the natural grass here in the infield at Stony Brook Field. Feet got swept out from under him.
Official ruling is a single, so Johnson is 3 for 3 today. Have yourself a game, Camden Johnson. In steps Nolan Stevens. Throw back to first, not in time for a diving Johnson. But Nolan Stevens at the dish, the second Oklahoma commit on this Kettleers roster. Him out of Mississippi State. Wide base in the left-handed batter's box. Batting with Johnson, a strong lead off first. LeFew fires in there, a strike with a breaking pitch. Anderson close to the bag with Johnson a threat to steal. Outfield drawn to their left. The pitch skips in a ball. 1-1. LeFew, the same motion with runners on and runners off. Always out of the stretch. He's set at the belt. Stares down first, makes a fire over there. A cursory check of Johnson. Cotuit, 9 hits, 1 run. A great offensive performance, but they just haven't been able to drive him in. They're down 3-1 in the top half of the 6th. Another throw back to first. No windup on the toss over. Almost caught Johnson off guard. Stevens still awaiting the 1-1 pitch in the box. Slings the bat over his shoulder. LeFew kicks and pitches low. 79 on the radar gun. The slowest LeFew will go with the breaking pitch. Struck out 15 batters per 9 innings this past spring at Wake Forest. Here comes his 2-1. Swung through and missed. 2-2 after a big cut by Nolan Stevens. Count even, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Stevens hitting with 1 out, a man on first. 3-1 ball game. Brewster up in the top of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Clubbed straight into Tinney, the catcher, foul. Count stays 2-2. LeFew already set on the mound. Just waiting for Stevens eagerly to get in the box. Hanging over the mound, now comes set at the belt. LeFew into his motion, fires a low pitch to 3-2. Payoff pitch incoming. Another long count for LeFew, a slower delivery. That shot into right field gets down a base hit in front of the right fielder, Magpok. 2 straight singles for Johnson and Stevens.
Ball was hit real hard by Stevens. I mean, when he gets a hold of a baseball, he can really tear the cover off of it. That one almost to his own disadvantage. It stayed up long enough for Magpok to maybe make a play, but instead it dropped harmlessly about a foot or so in front of him.
That's back-to-back hits for Stevens. He's 2 for 3 with a strikeout looking now. In steps Rintaro Sasaki, another left-handed slugger. 7 homers, a .260 batting average at Stanford this spring. LeFew pitching with 2 runners on. He fires. Sasaki stepped into it, but no swing on the pitch in the dirt. Sasaki, the all-time high school home run record in Japan, over 140. He's batting with 2 runners on, with 1 out in the top half of the 6th. The pitch, in there, called strike 1. Looked like a slider out of the hand of LeFew. LeFew, a long look at second, turns home, fires. Breaking pitches in and clipped the knuckles of Rintaro Sasaki. That loads the bases with 1 out. Case Sanderson in prime position to drive some in.
No walks on the day from Brewster pitchers, just the first hit by pitch today as well. There have not been many free passes, but that one, perhaps the worst of circumstances, it now loads the bases with only 1 out.
And that barely got Sasaki on the knuckles. Hung a breaking ball and just tapped off the front. So a mound meeting between catcher and pitching coach and left-handed hurler Hayden LeFew. Brian Del Rosso, the pitching coach for Brewster. He exits in the teal sweatshirt. Home plate umpire Rick Antonio dusts off the plate. We're good to go here in Brewster. Runners at all stations for Case Sanderson. A hard-hit single his last time up. The first baseman out of Nebraska. LeFew steps, kicks, delivers a low pitch way outside. 1-0 count. LeFew eager to get into his motion. Sanderson engages. LeFew kicks and fires. Another low pitch. 2-0 count. Bases loaded. 3-1. Brewster is up. Winning run at first base. Sasaki here in the top of the 6th. Lefty-lefty matchup. LeFew fires. That's rocked out into left field. That'll bring home 1. Johnson comes in to score. Coming around third is Stevens. He's chugging home. Throw is well in time to Tinney. And he got him. But 1 run scored. There's now 2 outs. 3-2 ball game. Brewster runners on first and second.
Ball was absolutely hosed off the arm of Blake Sear. Johnson scored easy. Stevens, with a full head of steam, turned third. And, I mean, that baseball was in the mitt of the catcher Tinney before Stevens was even 5 feet from home plate.
A gun from left field to Carson Tinney. First pitch to Jaron Advincula, a swing and a miss on one in the dirt. Third baseman Fisher is pinched in. Almost on the infield grass. Huge gap between the shortstop Curse and the third baseman Fisher, though. Prime position for Advincula to slap one through. 2 outs, 1-0 count to Advincula. LeFew on the bump, fires. Gets a strike on the breaking pitch. It's 0-2. 2 down, 3-2 ball game after the Case Sanderson RBI single. Advincula's ready. LeFew a peek at second, fires, swing and a miss. Got him fishing on a curveball in the dirt. LeFew gets out of it, out of a bases-loaded jam. Did allow a 1-run single off of Sanderson, but now it's a 3-2 ball game. Brewster remains up, entering the bottom half of the 6th.
The Kettleers and Turns and the very popular t-shirt toss is brought to you by Paul J. Casalt & Sons, certified roofing experts proudly serving Cape Cod and Plymouth since 1927. If you've got roofing, siding, or gutter needs, let the Casalt family take care of your family.
Hi, Connor Shue here. Beacon Gardens is Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville and West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
You'll be ready to power up when the power goes out with generator maintenance and service from RCA Electric in Mashpee. From preventative maintenance plans to 24/7 emergency service, trust RCA to keep your generator humming. Call us or visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. Generating trust.
The bottom of the sixth here, 3-2 ball game. Brewster up, but Cotuit made it a one-run ball game on a Case Sanderson single. And now a new pitcher for the Kettleers. Charlie Walker is out there.
Another familiar face for Kettleers fans and teammates. This will be Walker's fifth appearance of the summer. Currently boasting a .386 ERA over 7 complete innings pitched. He's allowed 6 hits, 3 earned runs. He's walked 2 and struck out 4. All of his appearances have been in relief. The 6'2", 210 righty out of Milton, Massachusetts, ready to face the middle part of Brewster's lineup.
Alex Sosa is the first man due up, left-handed swinging designated hitter. Then it's Blake Sear and Carson Tinney. Sosa's hitless today, did hit a sac fly back in the third. Walker stares down home, kicks and pitches, gets by Natilli, first pitch ball. Infield shifted off to the right. Advincula playing in the outfield. Farber playing a few feet away from the second base bag. Johnson a shift maybe 10 feet away from the third base bag. Whole outfield shifted the same to pull for Sosa. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. 1-1. 3-2 ball game. Cotuit made it a one-run game with a Case Sanderson single in the top half of this frame. We're in the bottom of the sixth. Walker steps, kicks, offers, swinging a chopper foul down the first base line. It's 1-2. Sosa 0 for 4 last game against Wareham. He got the day off on the 28th. But on the 27th, could not get a hit. He bats with no runners on, no outs here in the bottom half of the sixth. Walker steps, kicks, delivers. Curveball was a little low, just below the knees of Sosa. It's getting a little darker out here at Stony Brook Field. The 2-2 pitch. Hit high, foul over the screen. Hopefully those aren't rain clouds I see in the distance over the trees.
They're a little bit dark, the undercarriage of those clouds, maybe holding some moisture. They're far away, though.
I think so. Mostly blue skies with some thin clouds above us right now. Here comes the second 2-2 offer. Swing and a miss on one in the dirt. Natili tosses down to first to retire Sosa after a big swinging strikeout.
Walker has done a good job this season out on the bump. Doesn't get those strikeouts a lot. That's only his 5th of the season, but he does a good job of commanding the zone. Averages less than a hit allowed per inning, so he really does pitch to a batter.
Walker has retired his first via the strikeout. Here comes his first offer to Blake Sear, a strike in the middle part of the plate. Blake Sear, left fielder from Florida, 1 for 4 with a double last game against Cotuit. He has a double today. The 0-1 offer. In the dirt. And Sear started to bring the bat around. They checked to first to see if he went around. George Stransky said no. Sear, the right-handed swinging left fielder. Stocky in the box. Front leg straight up. Back leg crouch. Big swing and a miss on another curveball. Walker getting what he wants with that pitch. Sears Florida Gators eliminated by East Carolina in the regionals early this month. The kick in the 1-2. Another curveball, another swing and a miss. Back-to-back strikeouts for Charlie Walker.
Well, the strikeouts have been coming for Cotuit this game. That is now 7 strikeouts spun by Cotuit pitchers, no walks. It has been all command around the zone today for Cotuit.
The strong frame from Charlie Walker is keeping this game 3-2. Cotuit down 1 in the bottom half of the 6th. Another right-handed stick steps in. Carson Tinney, the catcher. Walker long pause, kicks, fires home. Low pitch just inside, a changeup. Wonder if we see Walker pitch him backwards starting off speed. 1-0, Walker into his motion. A fastball strike on the upper half. 11 hits for Cotuit to 7 for Brewster. The Whitecaps do have the advantage, 3-2. 2 down in the bottom of the 6th, no one on. Here's the 1-1. Check swing, no go on the low pitch. 2-1. Tinney, a pair of strikeouts today. Searching for that first hit. He's on his way to Texas next year. 2-1 pitch. Low, just caught the corner. 2-2 count. It was borderline. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, no one on. Walker offers to Tinney, low in the dirt. Early break on that curveball. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Tinney readjusts with the wide base in the right-handed batter's box. He's ready. Walker sets up and offers his 3-2. Shot high in the air out to left. Running towards the wall is West. Makes the catch right in front of the 6-foot wall to retire the side. 1-2-3 for Charlie Walker in the bottom of the 6th. It's 3-2. Brewster is up, entering the top half of the 7th.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generatic automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all, from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
Hi, Connor Shue here. Wake up to Cape Cod's finest coffee. Cape Cod coffee roasts fresh daily using only the finest beans. With a wide variety of options from light to dark, flavored to decaf, there's something for everyone. Visit locally at Mashpee Commons and off Route 130 in Mashpee, or venture over the bridge to Wareham Crossing, where each location offers a full bar and menu. Proudly sponsoring the Cotuit Kettleers, Cape Cod Coffee is passionate about our brews and our community.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
3-2 ball game. Brewster up going into the top of the 7th. Before we start play, we've got a message from our own Brooke Kilgore.
Connor, you've heard a lot of third baseman Camden Johnson tonight with 2 singles and a double, as well as stealing third base in the second inning. He's been consistent in 13 games overall with 47 appearances at the box, connecting 11 hits and running in 5. With a quiet start to the season, the Oklahoma infielder says this recent offensive explosion has been coming for a while. Quote, "We stopped feeling sorry for ourselves, and we knew it was going to be a long season if we sat back and took it. It was time to flip the script and start playing with some more swagger." Of course, there's no more swagger than Chris Albright's explanation of Charlie Walker's sunburn coming up. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Brooke. Chris was dying to share that one while we were over break.
I couldn't figure out a way to bring it up while he was pitching, but yeah, my reporting skills are limited, but I can tell when someone is sunburned. And Charlie Walker has been enjoying his time out on Cape, I guess.
Get a few off days to enjoy the beach. Got to take advantage.
Yeah.
This day, not quite the sunburning day.
Definitely did not happen today. I'll tell you that.
Clouds rolling in more and more as the game goes on. Hayden LeFew out there on the mound for Brewster. Dean West starting things off for Cotuit, batting left-handed. The first pitch to him is a high fastball. Ball number 1. Ryan Farber on deck, Jack Natilli in the hole. LeFew threw 2 complete. Here comes his 1-0 offer. A change-up strike. Some stronger wind was blowing in towards us here at the broadcast booth. 1-1. West squared to bunt. Went low. It is a 2-1 count. No wind in the outfield, though. The big American flag in right center is mostly idle. LeFew, the lefty, ready to offer to West. High pitch, 3-1. Brewster scored their runs in the first and third. 1 in the first, 2 in the third. They're up 3-2. Here's the pitch. That's hit high in the air out to right field. Coming into play, it is Magpok who makes the grab off of a jog. 1 down.
Now batting the shortstop from Auburn.
3-2 ball game. Brewster up on Cotuit in the top half of the 7th. Ryan Farber digging in. Switch hitter batting right-handed against the southpaw LeFew. Looks into his orange-barreled bat. He's ready. The pitch. In there, strike 1 with a slider. Farber, a single in the first inning, his only hit. Lays down a bunt down the third base line. It's a beauty. Gets past the pitcher. The throw. In time, a web gem from the man at the hot corner. Fisher sprinted in on that one and slung it sidearm over to first just in time. And the nice stretch by Anderson just barely got Farber.
I don't even know if you could call it a web gem, more of a hand gem, I guess. The Fisher, the third baseman, came in barehanded that baseball as he was sprinting towards it, and then on the run just threw across his body to be able to beat out Farber. Again, like you said, it was a great bunt, just better defense.
He played it perfectly. LeFew couldn't get to it. First pitch to Natilli is high. Jack Natilli is 1 for 3 today, but he's hit a ball hard to the left center field gap every single time he's come up. It resulted in a double his first time and 2 deep flyouts. Big swing and a miss on a low pitch. It's 1-1. Ball and a strike, 2 down. 3-2 ball game in the top half of the 7th here at Stony Brook Field. Ket's looking for win number 4. That's rocketed out to left field along the line. Tail just foul. Bounced past the bullpen of Brewster and out of play. One of the good swings we've seen Natilli put on tonight. He's had some issues with the strikeouts this season. Hit double digits with only 3 walks. But he's been putting bat to ball more and more recently. Had 2 hits last game. He's got a loud double today. The step, the kick, the pitch from LeFew. Inside, called strike 3. Sets down the side in order. The third strikeout by LeFew got Natilli looking. It's 3-2 Brewster up on Cotuit. The Whitecaps up to bat next. Curse Anderson, Magpok 7 through 9 on Cape League TV.
Wake up to Cape Cod's finest coffee. Cape Cod coffee roasts fresh daily using only the finest beans. With a wide variety of options from light to dark, flavored to decaf, there's something for everyone. Visit locally in Mashpee Commons and off Route 130 in Mashpee, or venture over the bridge to Wareham Crossing, where each location offers a full bar and menu. Proudly sponsoring the Cotuit Kettleers, Cape Cod Coffee is passionate about our brews and our community.
Beacon Gardens is Osterville's premier garden center. You'll find everything you need to beautify your home at Beacon Gardens, where quality products and excellent customer service make them Osterville's premier garden center. Visit Beacon Gardens on Osterville, West Barnstable Road.
Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialist for athletes and everyday people, brings you to the Kettleers' top of the order. They're the go-to team for Boston's professional athletes and people across New England. So if an injury is slowing you down, Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on Cape Cod. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs.
Bottom half of the 7th here on Cape League TV. It's 3-2 Brewster up on Cotuit. It was going to happen sometime, wasn't it?
You warned me when we were coming back, and I didn't listen. Oh, geez, you caught me slacking.
Well, I think we say it once a day when we're in the booth or down the first base line. We have fun here.
We do have fun. I'll try not to speak when we go live next time.
It's all good. Carson Kerr steps in, the right-handed swinging shortstop. Charlie Walker remains on the bump, fires a first pitch strike. 86 on the radar gun. 0-1 count. Walker, pair of strikeouts, went 1-2-3 in his first frame, the 6th. He kicks and deals the 0-1 in the dirt. 1-1. 3-2 ball game. Ketts down 1 in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Walker staring down home with the Cotuit across his chest. The high kick, the pitch. In there, called strike 2. An emphatic call by Rick Antoni. A cool wind blowing in from the right side. Darker clouds rolling in over Stony Brook Field. Here comes the 1-2 from Walker. Low, just barely dug it out, foul towards the Brewster dugout. Carson Kerr did. He's having a tough day at the plate. Pair of strikeouts to start. Looking for that first knock. Wagging the bat over his right shoulder. He's ready. Walker deals. Curveball just got in there. Strike 3 called.
Walker's retired the first 4 batters he has faced, 3 via the punch-out. I mean, this is coming from a relief pitcher who wasn't even averaging a strikeout per inning coming into this one. He's already notched 3.
He's looked real sharp so far. Big strikeout numbers at Northeastern, 56 and 48 and 2/3, as he gets another swing and a miss from Michael Anderson on a low pitch. His stuff has been playing perfectly so far today. Efficiently through 4 batters. He's into his motion for his 22nd pitch. A strike. 0-2 count. 16 strikes thrown by Walker. Another 0-2 count. Here it comes. Check swing. And he went around. Another strikeout for Charlie Walker. He's up to 4 through 5 batters.
Charlie Walker is dealing right now. When he gets in his groove and he gets those swinging strikes on the breaking ball low and away, I mean, it's just another tool that he gets in his back pocket, which is his confidence. And when he gets those strikeouts, they come very frequently.
Now it's Adam Magpok, a switch hitter batting left-handed, pulls back the bunt on a curveball at his feet. It's 1-0. Whitecaps want to extend their 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 7th. Charlie Walker not letting that happen. A low pitch, misses the zone, 2-0. Walker's been leaning on the breaking stuff a lot today. A big curveball in the arsenal, changeup and a fastball. Used more sparingly. The 2-0 pitch, low once again, and he's down in a count for the first time today. He's struck out 4 of his last 5 batters seen, the only batters he's seen today, in the 6th and the 7th frames. He's got a 3-0 count against Magpok. Fires one right down the pike. Magpok last played on the 27th in their game against Wareham. Pinch ran and stole a bag. He's 0 for 2 today. The 3-1. Rocketed out to right field on a line. That one gets down a base hit towards the corner. He's chugging towards second, and he's not going to stop, but he does. Slammed on the brakes right after crossing second in a big double celebration for Adam Magpok.
He took a very large turnaround second base with a full head of steam. I think everyone in the stands and even on the field thought he was heading towards third base, but instead, there's 2 outs. You don't want to force anything to get out of the inning. So a very conservative stop at second from Magpok, and it brings up your best hitter, Josiah Ragsdale.
Adam Magpok got on that, Nolan Stevens got on that ball really quickly in right field as well, and we've seen him unleash the cannon out there a couple times this season, so I don't think Magpok wanted to test him. There's a full infield and pitching coach mound meeting with Charlie Walker, Tim O'Connor out there doing the talking. The first base runner Walker has allowed all day, and he's back on the mound against, as you said, Josiah Ragsdale, the most fearsome bat in this order, not for power, but for his contact and base running ability.
You might even call him the most feared hitter on the Cape right now. Josiah Ragsdale is an absolute Iron Man for Brewster. Leads the team in hits, average, doubles, RBIs, walks, stolen bases. A true utility man.
The center fielder digs into the left-handed batter's box. Walker is ready with a runner, Magpok on second. He has a big lead. He goes, pitches in there, throw down to third, not in time. Johnson had to jump to get that ball. And Magpok was well into the base by the time he was in the air. So Magpok, second straight game with a stolen bag.
4th of the day for the Whitecaps.
Now Ragsdale bats with a runner on third with 2 down. 3-2 ball game. They lead. Shoots it high in the air into foul territory. Johnson chasing it down and making the grab almost at the netting. 3 down, side retired. Even after the 2-out double by Adam Magpok. We'll take you to the top half of the 8th inning next on Cape League TV. Brewster leads 3-2.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville, West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Hey, it's Chris here. From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot in Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing, where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Make sure to stop by Mid-Cape Oral Surgeons, the maxillofacial surgery and dental implant center of South Yarmouth. Doctors Theo Hardees, Meyer, and Sarah Pack are the Cape's leading experts on oral biopsies, wisdom teeth extractions, and dental implant reconstructive surgery.
Kettleers Baseball is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all of your hand and upper extremity needs.
The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center. You'll find everything you need to beautify your home at Beacon Gardens, where quality products and excellent customer service makes them Osterville's premier garden center. Visit Beacon Gardens on Osterville, West Barnstable Road.
Ket's bat in the top of the 8th, down 2-3 to the Brewster Whitecaps. Hayden LeFew remains on the bump for his 4th inning of work against Andrew Wiggins. The 5-hole hitter, then it's Camden Johnson and Nolan Stevens, all lefties. Against the lefty himself, LeFew, who's into his motion. Quick first pitch strike. We've talked about his delivery a couple of times, but he slingshots it from his left hip. That one low and away. 1-1. An unorthodox delivery for LeFew, who wastes 0 time on the mound. As soon as he engages with the batter, he's into his motion. 1-1 pitch. Low on the corner. 1-2. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 run, and 3 complete. Struck out 3. Here's his 1-2. Hit softly on the ground to third. The throw down. It's a close play. He's out. Fisher just barely threw out Wiggins after it looked like he legged out an infield single, but no.
Wiggins has speed. A bang-bang play. I mean, they say tie goes to the runner.
Looked like a tie to me.
Looked a little bit off a tie. Wiggins really scampered in there.
His best effort to get down there. LeFew fires to Camden Johnson. A tall ball 1. So the Kettleers bat with 1 down. 3-2 ball game. Brewster ahead in the top of the 8th. Here's the pitch. In there, a strike with a breaking ball. LeFew's got great stuff. Nice slider that just kind of hangs across the zone. The 90-mile-an-hour fastball. Here's his 1-1 pitch. Johnson almost offered, but it was outside, and he did a good job to hold the bat back. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 down, no one on for Cotuit. Searching for that 4th win. Looking to make it a streak. That's clipped high in the air above the screen, out of play. 2-2 count. They're 2-1-1 in their last 4. They won last night 6-4 over Bourne. Johnson regained his bearings. Now he's back in the box. The 2-2 offer. Hits high, but Johnson clubbed it foul down the third base line. Almost hit one of our photographers, Dennis. Watch out.
He's now back behind the netting even more. He was on the ground and kind of just rolled back away from the baseball.
And that was a hot shot off the bat. All barrel from Johnson. 2-2 will do it again. LeFew pitching with no one on behind him. He fires just inside on the knees. It's 3-2. Infield with a shift to the right. The pull side for the left-handed swinging Johnson. Pitch clock at 10 seconds. LeFew steps, kicks, slings it in. Clubbed on the ground towards second, charging and firing in time to first for the out is Wentz. 2 down.
a couple of the Kets' quickest legs, unable to beat out those infield singles. We've seen them do it a couple of times this season, but the Whitecaps are doing a great job of getting the ball out of the glove quickly. The transfers have been clean, they've been crisp, and most importantly, they've been quick.
Great infield defense from the Whitecaps. Here's Nolan Stevens. Pair of hits for him today. Lines it on the ground, foul first base side. 0-1 count with 2 down. Pair of singles for Stevens. Got caught going home on the RBI single by Case Sanderson that initially scored Johnson. But a hose piece from Sear in left field got him well in time. Tinney was standing there waiting for him to get there. LeFew, the 0-1 offer. Low and away. Stevens, the right fielder, digs back in. Wide stance towards the back of the left-handed batter's box. He ropes that pitch foul over the netting in right field. It's 1-2. He's got a good swing. Still looking for that elusive first extra base hit, but he's hit a lot of hard singles.
Hard singles, hard foul balls. I mean, if he can time one up, it can get out of the ballpark in a hurry.
We've talked it to death in previous games, but at Fenway Day, he did a lot of that as he waves and misses at the 1-2 pitch. LeFew gets out of another inning. Back-to-back 1-2-3 frames for the Texas left-hander. It's 3-2, Brewster up going into the bottom half of the 8th inning here on Cape League TV.
The Kettleers 50-50 raffle is brought to you by 4 Seas Ice Cream in Centerville, the oldest ice cream shop in Massachusetts. They've been in business 91 years, carrying many of the same unbelievable flavors. Visit 4 Seas Ice Cream and taste the difference. Get your 50-50 raffle tickets now.
From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot at Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
The Kettleers are sponsored by longtime Cotuit residents Pat and John Callahan of Kinlan Grover Compass. With over 4 decades of experience in commercial lending and real estate, Pat and John are the go-to choice for all things real estate in Cotuit and surrounding towns. Visit them at 681 Falmouth Road in Mashpee. That's the Callahans from Kinlan Grover Compass, proud sponsors and longtime fans of the Kettleers.
Three-two ball game, bottom half of the 8th inning. Zane Coppersmith is the new arm in relief of Charlie Walker after he pitched to Gem.
Walker went 2 full innings, only allowed 1 hit, 4 strikeouts, and new pitcher on the bump for the Kets, Zane Coppersmith, 6 foot flat, a $195 out of Palm Beach, Florida. Wrapped up his year at Stetson. The righty has thrown 6 2/3 innings for the Kets this summer. He has been knocked around a little bit. He's allowed 6 earned runs. That's a team high. He has struck out 7, only walked 2, so good command around the zone.
Coppersmith will pitch to Cal Fisher, the right-handed swinging third baseman. His first offer to him is well above the head and into the screen. That's quite the 1-0 pitch.
Saying I own the batter's box.
Something like that. Well, the count's 1-0. Coppersmith steps in, fires a low fastball. Coppersmith did get hit around last time up. He pitched against YD only a couple days ago on Friday. Allowed 3 earned runs and did not get through a full frame. The 2-0 pitch is lifted high in the air. A sky ball out to right field for Nolan Stevens, who jogs in and makes the grab head high. One down.
That ball was hit a mile high. Plenty of time for Stevens to cover the ground necessary to make that catch. And for Coppersmith, it's a good out one to have under your belt.
Here comes Dalton Wetz, swinging it left-handed. Wentz 2 for 3 today. Pair of RBI singles. Coppersmith, the step kick and fire. Took Wentz off the plate, turned all the way around to avoid that breaking pitch. 1 ball, no strikes, 1 out. 3-2 ball game. Brewster up on Cotuit. The 1-0, big cut and a miss on a high fastball. The last score in this game came in the top of the 6th when Cotuit scored on a Case Sanderson single to make it a 3-2 ball game. Here comes the 1-1. Check swing, didn't matter. Caught the upper corner with a fastball, 1-2. Coppersmith doing a good job rebounding after missing on his first couple of pitches of the inning. Here's the 1-2. Golfed foul behind the screen, 1-2 again. Wentz was 0 for 2 with a strikeout yesterday against Chatham. They're back home to play against Cotuit. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 down. No one on the base paths. Coppersmith, a long look, a step, kick, and a fire. In there, called strike 3. 2 up, 2 down for Coppersmith.
The strikeouts have been there for Cotuit all game long. Every single pitcher in this game for the Kets has thrown a strikeout. That's a total of 10 on the day. Still no walks for the Kets.
Done a great job of pitching around the zone. I wouldn't say they've been pounding it, but staying around enough to force swings out of these Whitecaps batters. They've done a great job at commanding it. Now it's Alex Sosa scuffling a bit. 0 for 2 with a sac fly. First pitch to him. A fastball just off the corner. Outside to the left-handed swinging Sosa. A designated hitter, natural position catcher. Last played at NC State, he's committed to Miami, Florida. Fastball is tall. Ball 2. A quick practice swing for Sosa before he re-enters the box. Taps home, brings it right over his shoulder. The teal-colored barrel waving in the sky as he shoots that high, tailing off to the left and foul over the Brewster pen. 2-1. That's your count for Alex Sosa against Zane Coppersmith. In the bottom half of the 8th inning, 2 down, 3-2 ball game. Brewster's up. Brewster looking to get back into their groove. Would be win number 8. Spiked a fastball, Coppersmith. 3-1. Cotuit looking for their second straight win. They would be 4-8-1 with a victory. Brewster's lost a couple in a row. They were once 6-0 to start the season. The 3-1 pitch. That's rocketed out to right field, but it stays low, bounces off the glove of Nolan Stevens and into the rest of the outfield. And Sosa gets into second easily with a double. An early dive from Stevens. That's the second straight game we've seen him miss one.
Saw him do that against YD. That was at Yarmouth Dennis, and the same result. Ball just got past him. This one was in front of him. Really had to dive forward for it. That one is at the last second, and it just hopped over him. Andrew Wiggins did a great job of covering, able to field that ball quickly, prevent another extra base from Sosa. So Sosa has to stand put with a double.
And it sounded like that ball was going to travel much farther than it did. Ended up staying pretty high in the air as Tim O'Connor goes to the mound with the rest of the infield to meet with Coppersmith. And Stevens was playing pretty far back in right field, had to make a long run in to attempt for the catch, and as we've documented, could not make it. So it's 2 down, a runner on second.
Sorry to cut you off there, Connor, but yeah, for Sosa, that ball was top part of the zone. Had some good contact, just got underneath it a little bit. That ball was hard off the bat, but had plenty of backspin. And that's why it actually hung up in the air for it a little bit, just cutting against the wind. And it gave Stevens a great chance to come in, even try to make a play on that baseball.
This brings up Blake Sear. Double pop-out strikeout for the Florida left fielder. Not to mention a nice throw from left. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss on one in the dirt. He's been taking some big-time cuts. So Jacob McCombs, pinch runner on the base paths for Sosa. He's on second. He hit second against the Kettleers the first time they saw the Whitecaps. The 0-1 pitch, chopped foul behind him. Quickly 0-2, so Zane Coppersmith, a pretty looking count for him after allowing that double. 3-2 ball game. Brewster up in the bottom of the 8th. A 2-out base runner. It's McCombs on second. Coppersmith, a long glance at him. Looks back home, fires a high fastball. Stood up Natili, the catcher. The fastball is low 90s for Coppersmith, the Stetson righty. Once an All-Atlantic Sun second team member in 2023. He's ready for the 1-2 pitch. Chopped high in the air over our heads. Well fell. 1-2. We'll do it again. A little commotion behind us. 1-2 pitch incoming. Coppersmith fires home. That's lifted high and deep into center field. Wiggins playing back on it, makes the catch a few feet in front of the center field wall. 3 down, side retired here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Rentaro Sasaki, Case Sanderson, Jaron Advincula due up in the top half of the 9th. Last chance to dance for the Cats. They're down 3-2.
Be safe and comfortable in your home in any season with a Generac automatic standby generator from RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee. RCA does it all from consultation to installation to maintenance. For more information, visit rcaelectric.com. RCA Electric and Generators in Mashpee, generating trust.
The Kettleers top of the order is brought to you by Boston Hand to Shoulder, trusted orthopedic specialists for athletes and everyday people. Their expert team treats everything from sports injuries to everyday wear and tear, helping patients of all ages get back to what they love. Boston Hand to Shoulder is now on the Cape. Call 617-965-HAND for all your hand and upper extremity needs. The Kettleers Call to the Bullpen is brought to you by Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center. Located on Osterville West Barnstable Road, Beacon Gardens prides itself on quality products and excellent customer service. Check out their tremendous assortment of garden products. That's Beacon Gardens, Osterville's premier garden center.
Hey, it's Chris here. From bean to bite, sip, savor, and share a moment at Cape Cod Coffee. Their 2 Mashpee locations include the perfect brunch spot in Mashpee Commons and a lunch and dinner restaurant with a full bar right off Route 130. Cape Cod Coffee has also opened a new location in Wareham Crossing where you can indulge in delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner options. Visiting any of these locations will leave you absolutely thrilled. Cape Cod Coffee is a proud sponsor of the Cotuit Kettleers.
Bottom to the top of the order for Cotuit due up. Rintaro, Sasaki, Case Sanderson, Jaron Advincula, 8-9-1 due up to try and change this game in the top half of the ninth inning. It's 3-2. Brewster has the advantage in their home ballpark, Stony Brook Field. Kettleers looking to take the late lead in their last chance. First pitch by Matthew Jenkins, the new arm, a low strike to Rintaro Sasaki. 0-1 count. Jenkins finished up his first season at Florida. 14 innings pitched. The tall righty fires a low pitch, a fastball. It's 1-1. Some Cotuit fans shouting, "Have a hit" in Japanese. The 1-1 offering. Low and on the corner. It's 1-2. Jenkins readjusts on the mound. Glove tucked into his right arm. The 6'6" right-handed hurler kicks and deals. That's socked high and foul behind the screen. Stays 1-2. Rintaro, a strikeout, pop out, and got hit by a pitch back in the 6th. Matthew Jenkins pitched a couple of games in the Coastal Plain League last summer with the Greenville Yard Gnomes. The 1-2. High fastball. Good take by Rintaro Sasaki. Jenkins, it's his first appearance of the summer with Brewster. Near a 10 earned run average at Florida. Here's his 2-2. Shot high in the air, same spot, foul. Will stay there. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rintaro steps back in to face off against Jenkins, the rising junior right-hander. He's set at his chest, brings the glove down, fires home. It's inside on the knees of Sasaki. 3 balls, 2 strikes. He had a nice outing against South Florida back in May. 7 strikeouts and only 2 2/3 innings pitched. Looking to bring that type of stuff out tonight. The 3-2. Shot high in the air, deep towards center field, waving everybody off is the center fielder, Ragsdale, making the grab for out number 1. This broadcast is a copyrighted production of the Cape Cod Baseball League. Any unauthorized duplication, retransmission, or other use is strictly prohibited.
Great copyright, Reed. Killed that.
Thanks, man. So that was actually Ty Head playing center fielder. A substitution for Ragsdale. Interesting, because Ragsdale has the range out there. First pitch to Sanderson, taking a strike on the outer half. So Sasaki retired on the F8. 0-1 count to Sanderson. 2 hits today, including an RBI single. Cracks it foul. 0-2. He was the walk-off hero against Wareham in the second game of the season back home. A similarly cloudy day, so, well, it's mixed up there. Some blue shooting through the clouds here. The 0-2 pitch, swing and a miss. Outside on the fastball. Jenkins went 1-2-3 on him.
After a battle with Sasaki, Jenkins just attacking Sanderson head on. All those pitches just dotted in the strike zone. Now the last hope for the Kettleers, Jaron Advincula.
Advincula, this is the most we've seen him struggle all season. He's 0 for 4. His first hitless game on Cape this summer. First pitch to him, hit foul. 0-1 count. Advincula has been aggressive as usual. He had 2 hits yesterday, had his first extra base hit of the summer, a double. The 0-1 count with 2 down, 3-2 ball game. Brewster's up. Jenkins fires outside. 1-1. As usual, the third baseman, Fisher, is pinched well in on the dirt. Toes touching the infield grass. A shift off to the right for all other infielders. The pitch is low. 2-1. Jenkins wants him to offer low in the zone, but Advincula is staying patient. Advincula, the last hope, batting with 2 down. Socks that one foul, tailing out of play. 2-2. Jenkins, a deep breath on the hill. Waits for Advincula to ready. Puts the ball in glove, set near his face, kicks, delivers, low and away. It's 3-2. Advincula represents the tying run. Cats down 3-2. Winning run on deck, Dean West, here in the top of the 9th. Brewster fans egging on their pitcher, Jenkins, who hurls. That's tapped high on the ground towards the shortstop. Gloved by Curse, fired in time for out number 3. And the Cotuit Kettleers drop another close one, 3-2 at the hands of the Brewster Whitecaps. Matthew Jenkins came in and got the save, went 1-2-3 in the top half of the 9th. A nice outing for him. But the Kettleers couldn't quite get it done, scored their last run in the 6th. First thoughts on this one, Chris?
It was a good start for the Kettleers getting that first inning run, but very similar to the game just yesterday against Bourne. Cotuit struggling in the hitting department come later innings. I mean, and against Bourne, after the 3rd inning, Cotuit did not get a hit. A similar situation here today. After the 6th inning, the Kettleers unable to get a hit, going the final 3 frames hitless. Mixed in there 3 strikeouts, a lot of ground outs. It was a close one. A lot of them have been. The Cats just fall on the other side of the seesaw again.
And you look at the score line and you sigh a little bit. 8 runners left on base, 11 hits and 2 runs, and that has been the big storyline all season. Runners left on base. They had left 101 on base going into yesterday's game, and they left 10 on that day, so 111 runners left on base going into this one, now 119 through 13 games, and that just doesn't work.
No, that won't get you a win, unfortunately. I mean, bright spot today, Cotuit's bullpen. After May surrendered the first 3 runs of the ball game, Cotuit's bullpen was spotless. The guys that came in, Halverson, Walker, and Coppersmith, the 3 of them combined, went 5 1/3, only allowed 3 hits combined, struck out. You ready for this? 7 batters, walked none. An incredible day out of the Cotuit bullpen that has been so good all season long.
And I'd agree. They looked great. Halverson, Walker, Coppersmith all did their jobs, and Ian May scuffled a little bit in his first start of the summer, allowed 3 runs in 2 1/3, but the way that pen blocked things down is exactly what you're looking for, and they've been relied upon a lot this year. 66 1/3 innings is most on Cape, 3.12 ERA, and that dropped significantly today.
That it did, and it stops a bit of a slide from the bullpen that had allowed 10 earned runs, I should say, in the last 3 games. So a good bounce back from them. Starting pitching, I mean, it's Ian May's first start on Cape. There are some nerves flying in mid-season. You know, you're with a bunch of new guys that you've never met before. So May needed a little bit to settle in. You look at his 2nd inning where he went 1-2-3 with 3 strikeouts. That was an incredible inning from May. Looking to have a second good season with the Kettleers, and I think that start will come. That will be in the future for him. This wasn't typical for May. It was, in fact, probably just a one-off.
And you mentioned that 2nd inning he had struck out the side. The first was really promising as well. He allowed 3 straight singles to start, but he induced a soft grounder, a double play ball, and then got a pop-up out of Blake Sear to get out of that one, only allowing a single run. But we've talked about leaving the runners on base. Cotuit did a good job in the hit department. Jack Natilli starting to pop off a little bit. 3 hard hit balls off of his bat. Camden Johnson, his 4th double, a 3-hit day for him. Those were some real bright spots, but you lead off the game with a run, lead 1-0, and it seems like every time they do that, it seems like they end up in a hole and then they just can't seem to find their way out of it. And it's unfortunate because there's a lot of good hitters on this roster and a lot of great pitchers, but it seems like you don't want to be too hard on them, but it seems like things just don't happen at the right time very often.
That's a really good way to put it. I mean, all the pieces are there. It's just a matter of getting everything fit at one time. Today, hitting was working. The bullpen was working. So what does that leave starting pitching? And that was a little rough. We've seen games where the starting pitching is there, the hitting is there, but then the bullpen isn't. Or when both pitching is there, there's no real run support. So it's just a matter of getting all 3 facets working together and on the same page, and that will still come. I mean, we've seen games where all 3 are working. You think back to just this first game against Brewster nearly a week ago, the 6-2 victory. That was a good game where everyone was working together. The offense was, starting pitching was, bullpen was. That was a game that you can take away from. Today, this 3rd inning where Brewster scored 2, the only crooked inning of the game, man, that's an inning you want back. That's an inning where you retire the first runner, and then Ragsdale reached via catcher's interference. Should have been out on the ground ball, no other way to put it. But that really seemed to be in the head of Ian May and just unable to recover from that one.
That was the first base run of the inning, and it would have been 2 down going into Cal Fisher in that 3rd inning, but you said it seemed to really turn things over. And I think the other game-changing play in this one, at least on the Kettleers side offensively, was you take it to the 6th inning. Case Sanderson rips a single out to left field, and Camden Johnson came home to score easily, and Nolan Stevens right behind him. He got the wave at 3rd, and he was out well before the plate. Sear, he threw a seed from left field, and the catcher Carson Tinney was lying in wait for him a good few seconds before he was getting to the plate. That was not a bang-bang play, and you look back at plays like that and you think, well, what if Stevens stopped at 3rd? What if this, what if that? But I think that's really the one that's going to hang over the head of the Kettleers.
And just a couple plays where you look back and it's a shoulda, woulda, coulda. If this happened, if it could have happened, it would have been a totally different ball game. Again, these one-run ball games especially, you can you can go and find one moment where you could get a run there or save a run there, and at the end of the day, it's the product out on the field that you have to look at. And for Cotuit, the product is there. The players are there. It's just a matter of getting it all working at the same time.
And we'll do a quick look at the other scores around the league. Hyannis down 4-5 at the hands of YD, looking to be the first team on Cape with double-digit wins in the bottom half of the 9th. Harwich is up on Bourne 1-0 in the bottom of the 6th. Chatham and Falmouth all knotted up at the top of the 6th. Imagine if Chatham got a 4th tie. Oh, that would be something. Wareham up 4-1 on Orleans, and then of course Brewster beating Cotuit 3-2. Any final takeaways from this game, Chris?
Another close one. Another close one for Cotuit, and I think that's not something to hang your head on. It's something to realize, hey, later on in this season, when everyone's in form, when we have everything firing on all cylinders, these games are going to fall our way, and that's something fun to look forward to. Again, we're not even halfway through the season. Plenty of time to come back. I mean, you look at what happened last year. You have teams dropping 16 out of 17 to end this season. That won't be the case with Cotuit. If anything, it's going to be call back to the 2007 Rockies, winning 21 of their last 22 games to get into the postseason. I feel like that's a lot more likely of a scenario for Cotuit.
More good baseball to come for the Kets, who dropped to 3-9-1, hammering themselves in that last position in the West. And Brewster up in the East, 8-5 they improve after a quick skid. So they're looking good in the West Division, just behind YD, who's a couple games up on them. And they'll see Cotuit On Tuesday, after tomorrow's off day, everyone on Cape will get a nice little break. Brewster will see Orleans in Orleans, but for Chris Albright, Brooke Kilgore, Sorka Lewis, Riley Lewis, I'm Connor Shue, and despite the outcome, it's been a fun one nonetheless. Have a good night, everybody.